hello. What's up tonight, everyone? Welcome. Fine Thursday to y'all. Good to see ya. Dogga Myth, how's it going tonight? The Juice Caboose, Winter Milan, Dylan Hunter, Alex Mateo. Sorry, no modern tonight. We're doing standard 2022 tonight, but more modern's coming tomorrow for Much Brew, and we'll play some more modern next week. So tons more modern gonna be coming, of course. Hey, what's up, Husky and Claire? Good to see ya. I like modern too. Modern's still my overall favorite format, but hey, what's up, Cannibal? Mal the Guitarist. Do I listen to ska punk? Not really. I have listened to some in the past, but not currently. I don't listen to much ska. But welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. Oh my God, do people still play Arena? I started playing Moto and I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, Moto is pretty excellent. It has some really positive attributes, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of things I like about Magic Online, but there's things I like about Arena as well. Like Standard 2022, for example. I've been watching Gavin Draft in the vampire hours of the day. It has been fun. Wait, what? What's Gavin Draft? I don't even know what Gavin Draft is. So anyway, tonight, everyone, we are playing some Standard 2022, maybe some Historic. It's an Arena-style day. We're going to start off with this Leon Trazi special. If you don't know Leon Trazi, he makes some pretty interesting decks. He loves his, like, tutory big thing ramp style decks. And this is one of his Standard 2022 decks. Basically, ramping with Druid Clath and Pass of the World Tree, and this is a 5-color deck in Standard 2022, and then wish to get things like Crackle with Power, Devastating Mastery, Baleful Mastery, Velky, or Tibalt from this sideboard. So we got that one. We got some other stuff. We might jump around a little bit tonight. We also have some Jund Treasure Ramp. We got Mardu Sacrifice. We might try this really janky Flumph mono white life gain control deck, and then we might get to Historic too. Possibly. There's still a couple of decks from Historic we haven't played yet. The Xanathar deck we still haven't played. So that's the plan for today. Janking around on Arena, Standard 2022, Historic, etc. Hey, what's up, Dalakilla? How are you? AGK Mark, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. So how's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is having a spectacular day. I found out today, big news of the day. Apparently I'm like a furry streamer. I didn't know that. I was looking at my Twitch analytics, and the number one, I don't even know how this is possible. The beard, the puppy talk, but the number one Twitch tag that people find the stream from is apparently furry. And then Arena is second. So I didn't realize I was a furry streamer, but apparently we're a furry stream. I ran into the version of the deck the other day. Ooh, did it look sweet? I'm excited to try it. It looks pretty fun. Maybe it's the goldfish. I mean, we have the emo. I mean, if I was a furry character, it would probably be the bearded emo, the bearded scoop sticker emo that you can also get a sticker from Card Kingdom. I think that's I don't know what it's called actually. For whatever you call your furry character, it would probably be that, bearded scoops. So how's everyone doing tonight? Anyway, let's do reminders. Replay YouTube. That's where you find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff coming up. Tomorrow we're playing some Modern for Much Brew. We have Modern next week. I'm working on for some Against the Odds, playing some Sorcerer's Class, so that'll be coming up. Shorts and all kinds of stuff on the YouTube. So check that out. A reminder that our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, you can get them from over at cardkingdom.com. You can get Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. You can get older stuff. They got it all. You can even get a free Saffron Olive furry sticker, apparently. The bearded scoop sticker. Just ask them in the order notes. They'll give it to you for free. They're super cool like that. Oh yeah, the Ponza short was really fun. I like the old deck name shorts. I think they're interesting. And plus you get to have like funny old clips of like The Rock and fun music. So I've enjoyed making those shorts. Otherwise, merch page, tokens, t-shirts, playmats, clean out Richard's garage. He would definitely appreciate it. Donations, always appreciated, never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. And let's play some Magic. So this deck, I kind of already broke it down. I don't know if there's a whole lot to say about it. Really, what we're trying to do is do a bunch of ramping. We got Druid class for extra land drops. We got Path to the World Tree to hit our lands. We got You Happen Upon the Glade. These are weird ramp spells. They don't put the land on the battlefield, which is normally a problem, but if we have Druid class, we can make extra land drops, so all of a sudden You Happen on the Glade does turn into actual ramp. That's what Search put land into play. As far as what we're ramping into, sure, there's a couple of Elrod's Epiphany, sure, there's a Comba, but really, we're wishing things from the sideboard, like Crackle with Power, Comba, Devastating Mastery, full-on 5 colors of fun. And this deck, I don't know, we haven't played a ramp deck in a while, and I know it's got Elrond's Epiphany, that's the downside. People really hate Elrond's Epiphany. I've actually seen people calling for it to be banned already, which seems kind of insane. Arm Fingos for the 13th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to your view. But if you don't donate, Seth will force you to eat cereal without any fluids for an entire week. That is, you should eat your cereal without fluids anyway. It's so much better. I mean, this is exactly an Eldrazi deck. Like, you can tell just by looking at a deck that it's an Eldrazi deck. It's very obvious. Ali has a very distinct taste. He likes ramping. He likes casting big things. He likes tutoring things from the sideboard. That is, whoa, venturing, eh? Interesting. That is exactly what Elite decks want to do. Like, that is word for word, card for card, what most Elite Eldrazi decks are like. Alright, let's get our other colors. Pass the turn. Hey, thank you for the cheer. I have been having fun with 5 color shrines in Historic Brawl. Well, it's actually, that's one of the things I wanted to ask. Do you want to see Historic Brawl? Is that something you're interested in? I'm actually, like, a couple people asked me, like, oh, you should do a Historic Brawl stream, but I'm not sure that people actually want to watch Historic Brawl. Is that something you're interested in? Like, I don't know. I think Historic Brawl could be a little bit fun on occasion. I don't think that would be something we play all the time, but Elite Strikes are pretty commander-ish, for sure. Opponent's going for Lost Mines. Wow, that's like, yeah, that's probably the least likely. That's the one I would have expected the least, actually. If you're aggro, a lot of times you go right for the 4/4. I'd watch one super rarely. Yeah, okay, that sounds about right. Opponent passes. Oh, I almost feel a little guilty about how this is gonna play out. Vastwood Surge. Get a couple lands, get the rest of our colors. What do you think about Elrod's Epiphany? I saw a post on Twitter today saying we got to preemptively ban it. I'm not super comfortable with the idea of preemptively banning stuff based on standard 2022, because I think actual standard is going to be different. At the same time, I will admit that I feel like slightly dirty about taking all these turns in a row. It feels a little dirty, just a smidge. Elrod's Epiphany, extra turn. Hey, hello from the U.S. Maze, good to see ya. Extra turn number 1, play a land, untap. Is there a way to see our sideboard? There is, isn't there? No? Is there not? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow. Okay. 1, 2. Wow, this is even better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So, Eureka moment. Draw a couple cards. Put a Blades into play. Pathway. Take another extra turn. Completely fair and balanced to hit you. Photo. Oh, and a Doof's card too. Well, let's Seagate Restoration. Draw a few cards. Haul the Storm Giant. Foretell Elrith. Wow, that was kind of broken. That was kind of insane. I finally found something to break Flumph. It's Seismic Assault, Dackmore Salvage. It's something to give Flumph indestructible, goes infinite if I'm not mistaken. It does. You can do something similar with Seismic Swan. That's kind of the issue with with Flumph, is it does a lot of the same tricks as Seismic Swan, except Seismic Swan doesn't need to be made indestructible, which is an upside. But it is like a Seismic Swan with extra steps, essentially. I imagine Innistrad might have some answers. I mean, I think Standard's going to change a ton when we get the rest of it. I mean, the mana's pretty janky in Standard 2022. Wow, opponent is really committed to venturing into these dungeons. Block, 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 block. Wow, we're gonna do some big things. Hey, what's up, Babs? Good to see you. I want to see Brewer's Kitchen Historic Brawls videos. Well, the good news is, I'm pretty sure you'll get to see Brewer's Kitchen Historic Brawl videos. You know what? I do like drawing cards. I do enjoy the drawing of Magic cards. And my LGS, new donation from Dan Wildfire. And my LGS last night, my daughter was in a game of Commander where a player made 1,000,000 tokens. She cast Fumigate and then Bolus his Citadel. She was giggling about it for hours. Oh, that is hilarious. So, gained 1,000,000 life. Fumigate's like the perfect wrath for that situation. Like, absolutely perfect. I feel like we're playing a slightly different game than our opponent's playing. Druid class. Land. Gain a life. Level up Druid class. Land. Hit Kaya. I feel like we're doing things a little bit different than our opponent here. Just a smidge. Yeah, this is an elite special. You know an Eldrazi deck when you see it. Like, it's definitely unique. Ellie has his own personal style when it comes to building decks. Like, the ramp style, big, crazy stuff decks, Ellie's really good at building decks like that. I love the Getsod's Wizards class, my favorite limited card. The classes are sweet. We got another one coming next week in Sorcerer's class. And Sorcerer's class is also cool, but just, like, all around, the class enchantments are so good. They exiled the okay, sure. You got us. The Druid class is down. Barrowin attacks, reanimates. Professor of Symbology. Can we do this without milling ourselves out? That is a concern. Hey, thank you, Marvel Cakepen. How are you tonight? Good to see you. Bonnet Pass Summonings. Super gigantic splashy bombing cards are something Elite very much enjoys. Yeah, that is how Elite plays Magic. There's our World Tree. I don't even know what to do here. We have so many options. So we need more. Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to step for the Crackle with Power Kill. I think that's our plan. So Doom Scar you. Sweep the board. We're setting up for Crackle. We just got to keep making mana, and we're going to Crackle. We're going to get the Crackle from the sideboard and get the hilarious kill. What deck will you play first when Historic Horizons comes out? Oh, that's a tough one because there's so many. There's so many things that I wanna build with Historic Horizons. Ninjas is high on the list. Enchantress is high on the list. Boy, I'm trying to think of all the other ones. There's a ton. 1, 2. Let's Vastwood Surge, get some lands. Terry the Broken and Quantum! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much. Ooh, zombies? Zombies might have to wait until after we get Innistrad. But zombies is also going to be a sweet one. Mono-white humans? Really? Yeah. I mean, I gotta look at the... Oh, alright, so opponent does not want us to have a Druid class. I also want to just try out... I really want to try out the Hearthstone cards. Like, is Davriel... Oh, Elves? Elves is on the list. Is Davriel good? I don't think so, but I just want to see what it does. Shaman is high on the list with Harmonic Prodigy. Slivers, probably going to be janky. Sacrifice with Yawgmoth. Probably not Archmage Charm. That's more Crim, a Crim area. We'll probably play Squirrels, even though I don't think they're gonna be that good. There's so many decks. I wish it had already released and we were playing it now. Thoughts on best of one? Okay, so alright, so best of one. Best of one originally. Oh, Vesper combo. Yes, that's also high on the list. Hey, what's up, Ice Cream Lesbians? Good to see ya. We're a little short on bears. A Yule is like insane, but there's not a lot of good support cards. Excited about the Historic Brawl potential. I don't really play much Historic Brawl. Although, if you're a Historic Brawl fan, you're gonna want to catch tomorrow's Commander Clash. Tomorrow's Commander Clash. This one's for all of you. Let's see, 4. All right, we got to think about this. 1, 2, 3. And then Crackle is 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we have lethal? I don't even know if we have lethal yet. We have 22 cards. All right, Druid class. Play a land. Level up Druid class. We're gonna make as much mana as possible. I don't want to count. Counting is for blockers. Land. Eureka moment. Draw some cards. Gain some life. Path of the World Tree. We're out of lands to tutor up. Alrund's Epiphany. Take it. Okay, it's wish time. It's wish time. We're gonna make a little wish. And that wish is, I think, going to kill our opponent. Play the land. Wish. We will wish for Crackle. Alright, so Crackle with power. So it's 3 for X, 2 to cast. So 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. So we can go X5? I think that's lethal. X5. We'll rub in just a smidge. Glorious! Oh, so good. So good. So thoughts on best of one. Thoughts on best of one. Wow, that was actually super fun. I feel a little bad that we took a bunch of extra turns in between, but that kill was super sweet. Hey, what's up, Stone Raid? How are you? So here's my thoughts on best of one. When Wizards announced best of one, I was very anti-best of one. And personally, I still don't especially like best of one. For me, I believe it's worse than best of 3. However, I have come to think of best of one as its own format. And if I think of it as its own format, then I'm accepting of it. Just like, I don't know, I don't like Kamigawa Black Tiny Leaders, but I'm glad that it exists because other people like it, and that's just its own weird format that, you know, some people really enjoy, and that's good. There's a lot of Magic players, and it's good to have lots of different ways to play Magic. So I've come around to that being my stance on best of one. It's not my thing. I will play it for like standard 2022 because really don't want to play normal standard right now. But in general, best of 3 is my thing. This is going to come out of left field, but are there any thoughts to ever use Mind Grind as a sideboard card against a meta with a lot of oops all spells type decks? I feel like 3 mana win the game versus them would be super fun to include in some of those decks to tutor up. Something to keep in mind if oops all spells ever becomes tier 1. I think it would be excellent tech if oops all spells became tier 1. I don't know. I don't think we're at a point yet where we're especially close to Oops All Spells being a tier 1 deck. It's been tier 1 at times, but I don't know if it's ever been heavily enough played to really dedicate that many sideboard slots to, especially narrow ones. But if we ever got to a point where Oops All Spells was like one of the better decks in the format, then I would say that something like Mind Grind would probably be a sideboard all-star. Alright, level up the Druid class. Druid class is actually kind of sweet. Play a land, play a land. Foretell, our dirty, dirty extra turn spell. I mean, what do y'all think about best of one? What do you personally play? Hey, what's up, Kroger? How are you? Oh, you're playing the Mardu Venture deck? Yeah, sorry about the extra turds. I feel the need to apologize, but the kill was cool at least. Your deck looks sweet. I liked it, Kroger. All right, opponent, gonna treasure, try to get to the dragons. So do you all play best of one or best of three? I know Wizards always says, oh, best of one's so much more popular on Arena. And I've always been like a little skeptical. Well, not skeptical. I believe it probably actually is more popular. But I wonder how much of that is because of how Wizards has designed Arena to kind of support best of one more than best of three. Well, extra turn. I do not feel bad about taking extra turn against dragons. Dragons, I think, deserve it. Get some life, extra turn. No attacks. So this is 5 mana. It makes a huge land. One, two, three. All right, lets you happen on the glade. Get a land, get a land. Play the land, play the land. Make a massive land and smash dragons. Wow, maybe Druid class is like a real card. Maybe this is a real card. Yes. Attack you for 9 with a forest. In my opinion, best of one invites certainly decks like Exalted Deist combo for the ban, mono red aggro, decks it when super fast without a sideboard, don't usually have answers. A perfect example is Tribalt's Trickery combo. Yeah, I think that's part of the issue that I have with enjoying best of one personally, is kind of exactly that. I feel like best of one leads to extremes. It wants you to either build your deck to be really, really fast, and take advantage that your opponent can't like sideboard sweepers or whatever, or it wants you to go the other way and be like ridiculously controlling. In the middle, yeah, the polarization of the meta. Yeah, exactly. Now, go to does this have trample? No. Well, let's draw a few cards. Opponent counters. Go attacking. I use best of one to grind out challenges and nothing more. Like, I feel like Arena's very much set up to... Well, let's foretell our hand, basically. I feel like Arena's set up to encourage people to play best of one. Like, I feel like, in so many different ways. Like, best of one is obvious in the client. Best of three is kind of hidden. Even the naming, like, traditional for best of three. The fact that in best of one, you can play decks like Tybalt's Trickery and rank up really quickly is another incentive to play best of one. So there's a whole bunch of things that like funnel people towards playing best of one, which it's kind of like we just had this big thing with set boosters versus draft boosters, where Wizards were like, set boosters are crushing it, and all the local game stores were like, yeah, well, you would only sell us like 10 draft booster boxes, but you give us hundreds of set booster boxes. So of course you sold way more set boosters. We didn't have draft boosters to sell to our players. I feel like a little bit of that happens with best of one too. Like, is more of it played? Yes, but is it just because players really love playing best of one and that's their favorite way to play Magic? I don't know if that's necessarily true. Budget friendly, you don't need sideboard cards, so technically you need you need less cards overall, which I think that is a way to make the game a little bit more budget friendly. Tybalt's Trickery, yeah, decks like Tybalt's Trickery is definitely an issue, I would say, with Best of One. Did they find another Epiphany? Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh no! Opponent. Another extra turn. Yikes. I guess we're losing the extra turn war. Opponent cashes in all their treasures, trying to find the last Epiphany and steal the win. Can they do it? Please no. Opponent quickly snaps off a card, takes a Frostbolt. Well, this means if they find another Goldspan, they win. I will say, I could see why people would say, oh, I guess we're dead, aren't we? Yep, alright. Well, that's fun. I can see why people would say they want Elrond's Epiphany banned. If you're, as someone just playing on Arena, that is totally not a... That totally does not strike me as an insane thing for someone to say. I don't think I agree. I don't agree with that because I want to see what Standard looks like. But as someone who just plays and you're like, oh, I'm playing a game of Magic, and they're like, oh, this extra turn spell. Oh, it's another one. Oh, they just won from 20 damage. Why I had no way of interacting with it. I could see why people would be like, hey, I don't want to do that. Do you think unbanning Golos and Winota was a mistake in Historic Brawl? I mean, what has your experience been with it? Like, I think it all comes down to if the matchmaking works the way Wizards says / intends. Because, like, I thought the idea for what Wizards said is like, hey, we're doing this whole new matchmaking thing. And then it's going to be, so if you play Golos, you will only play against other Golos players. And you will not play against the normal players who are just, you know, trying to have fun. So there'll be like this, you know, hidden Golos queue where all the people with the busted Golos decks and Winota decks or whatever just like battle each other out with their busted commanders, and everyone else is like in their own other group. But does that work out in practice? Like in practice, I haven't played Historic Brawl. If you just jump into the queue with a non-busted commander, are you playing against Golos and Winota regularly? Or is the matchmaking thing actually working? So that would be, I mean, the matchmaking idea kind of sounds okay. If it actually works. I don't know if it actually works, though. Suralf, eh? We really need to draw land here. We're going to be... Oh, jeez. Alright, well, we can keep foretelling. Not hitting lands is bad news, though. Hamasuke! Welcome to the Fishbowl. What were you playing, Grand? Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The real issue is we don't have limited best of 3 ranked. Oh, that actually makes sense. There probably should be ranked. Really? You can't play ranked best of 3? Yeah, it seems like you would want ranked best of 3 limited. That's really weird that there is not that option. This is other thing. Speaking of best of 1, since we were talking about it, these are the other games that drive me crazy in best of 1. Just like the games where it's just variance losses, and it's just like, Arena decided not to give us lands. We don't get to play Magic. In best of 3, you just move on to the next game. In best of 1, you just take the loss, which is a lot more, I don't know, a lot more painful for me. I have no reason to believe the matchmaking is in place. Well, if the matchmaking isn't working, then they definitely should not have unbanned those commanders. I don't think most... Yeah, we're dead now. I don't think... Well, sometimes you play Magic, sometimes you don't. I don't think most people want to play against Golos. I don't think that's what people want Historic Brawl to be about. So if you are just firing up Historic Brawl and you're playing against Golos with your random, you know, Nahiri equipment deck or something, I think that's a big negative to the format. So either they need to fix the matchmaking so it works as intended, where if you're playing your janky Nahiri deck, you're almost never playing against Golos, or they should just keep them banned. not even hyperbole. I've played against Ghostmead 25% of time. Really? I mean, are you playing? What commander are you playing? Are you playing a busted commander? Because that's the thing. Like, if you're playing something that Wizards deems to be a super powerful busted commander, then you should, by how they describe the matchmaking, then you should be playing against Golos very, very often. Like, you should be playing against Golos super consistently. And that's the other thing. Like, we don't know what counts. Like, what commander do you play? Does that Wizards considers broken? That's gonna throw you into the Golos queue where you're playing Golos constantly. Like, where's the line? And that's the part that's very unclear. And we really don't know where the line is. We don't know. Like, we don't know what gets you thrown into the Golos queue. We have no idea. I've played Dinosaur Tribal and Merfolk Tribal. I've never played against Golos or Nicobo's Control over half the time. Ooh. If Field of the Dead goes, then Brawl will dominate Historic Brawl, so no. I don't really understand why they put Brawl into Brawl. Like, Brawl is the commander that killed 1v1 commander on Magic Online. Like, Brawl single-handedly made that format not be a thing. So I don't know why they would put it into Brawl, which is very similar, the 1v1 aspect. I don't know what Wizards was thinking on that one, honestly. Very, very weird choice. A Seek and Golos, so read and Brawl, it just becomes a metagame where you are racing to stick and activate. After 2 days of Azeka Brawl, you scoop it up when the OP gets Azeka to activate. Yeah, I could... So what's the top tier of Historic Brawl, then, commanders? Opponent hits us to 6. Yeah, we're kind of in rough shape here. Like, even if we Wrath... Oh, Play the land. Eureka moment. Doomscar. We're kind of still in a pretty sketchy spot. Opponent untaps. Well, save us dirty, dirty extra turn spells. Vote it. Faceless Haven. Hits us. To 2. Swarm Shambler. Alright, Elrond's Epiphany. Make some blockers. Haul the Storm Giant. Can we stabilize? Coma. Play the land. Pass the turn. Make a coil. About it. Oh, do we stabilize? We were so far behind. We were so close to dead. Tiny Bones really rocks the lower tiers. What if Wizards was transparent about it? Like, what if Wizards, like, just explained... Alright, well, I guess I can't beat a coma. Like, what if Wizards just explained how it worked? And they're just like, hey, here's what we're looking for. I guess the issue with that is people might just game the system. And, like, if you knew, oh, if you have this many rares, then they're going to jump you into the higher queue. Maybe people pay, like, 1 rare less than that and try to game it. I don't know. So maybe there's issues with that, too. But I would feel a lot more comfortable if I knew, like, what got you put into one queue and what got you put into the other queue. Now, this isn't fast, but we'll try it. I remember before they rotated out of Standard, tried to make Teo Brawl deck. It did not go well. I mean, having Planeswalkers be your commander is one of the neat aspects of Brawl. I'd like them explaining because it's obvious it exists. Why didn't they just let me avoid the busted stuff? Yeah, I mean, well, we know that it exists. They've told us. They've told us that that exists. Whether or not it works as well as we want it to, that's another question, but... Your Nev deck has 61 rares, 11 mythics. So who do you play against, MTG DBZ? Like, my guess would be, with that number of rares and mythics, that you would probably end up playing against a lot of really strong decks. I would assume that would put you in, like, the Golos queue. Gaming a system where you only play for fun makes no sense. I don't know. That's true, but Magic players were kind of trained to, like, min-max everything. There's a lot of Magic players that's natural to try to get every little edge possible, so they can't do that because then everyone just wants them to explain why every other matchmaking in detail, and that would kill Arena. I mean, okay. I guess that's probably true. Although, I guess also maybe... Dancing Sword doing some work, doing some dancing. No, in Commander you can only play legendary creatures as your commander. Opponent, running it out. Can we draw a land? No. This deck has some issues hitting land sometimes. That seems like the main way that we lose is just not drawing lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are right on the edge of death. Oh, we're dead then, right? Down to 2. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's the problem with this archetype is it wants you to have a lot of lands, and if you don't draw the lands, you don't do much of anything. I've always thought they should allow planeswalkers as commanders in actual Commander. Yeah, that was a good line by our opponent, killing her own creature. Next level. Counting up my 100 Brawl deck, I'm 56 rares or mythics, though about half of those are dual lands triumphs. Like, see, even that we don't really... Like, do we keep... Oh, do we keep this after losing to Mana Screw? I guess not. Well, I guess this is sort of better. I wonder how that plays into it. Like, do lands count towards whatever's Wizard's looking for when they're deciding what queue to put you into? Like, we don't know. We don't know. Planeswalkers as commanders is Oathbreaker mostly. Yeah, whatever happened to Oathbreaker? Oathbreaker seems to be the latest fly-by-night, come-and-go, super quick format. I mean, Oathbreaker was... the games I played of Oathbreaker were fun. Yeah, we're not in spoiler season at the moment, but starting next week, I assume we're going to be getting there. Tuesday's the big announcement day. The big announcement day stream. And then I'm guessing, like, the next Monday, we got to start spoiler season. Do you ever mess around with Penny Dreadful? I have not ever... I played, like, a game of Penny Dreadful with someone at an event one time, but I've never really done Penny Dreadful. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we get on Tuesday, too. Sets for the next year, probably Universes Beyond. I think the signature spell aspect of Oathbreaker was... I don't know if that was a positive. There was a pretty, like, Teferi and Silence or whatever is just... There's some pretty miserable ways for that to work. So I don't know if going with the signature spell thing, where you have a Planeswalker and dispels your commander, I don't know if that was a good idea for the format. Gonna stream any Historic Horizons? Yeah, would be streaming Historic Horizons now if they actually released it on time. So, assuming Wizards actually releases it, which fingers crossed, hopefully, baby. Then yeah, definitely a lot of stuff hopefully gonna stream from Historic Horizons. The ban list for Oathbreaker is pretty bad. I don't actually know what's on the ban list for Oathbreaker. Between Krim and yourself, are there plans for something like your band league? I'd like to see some block versus block matches. Ooh, what would block versus block matches be? Huh. Well, play the land. Tutor up some lands. Level up Druid class. Play some lands. Foretell, go. How do you feel about box toppers for Crimson Vow? Good for cheaper cards, right? Yeah, in general, I like box toppers a lot. We'll see what they actually end up being. They could be really anything. They could be like old Innistrad reprints. They could be based on some theme, like we saw with like lands with Zendikar Rising. But yeah, I definitely think that doing box toppers is a good thing, and it does. I mean, we've already gotten the prices of cards to come down a lot because of like collectors boosters and all that stuff. But having box toppers doesn't hurt either. And it does, to some extent, can help bring down price of the cards too. It's not like a full reprint, but it's something. So it does help with the cards being reprinted a little bit at least. Well, here comes the land. Hit you for 9. Maybe Druid class is like kind of a real card. Do you think Liliana will make an appearance in the set? It seems likely. Liliana has been every time we went to Innistrad. There's been a Liliana, so it would be weird if there wasn't. What do you think about them reprinting actual Liliana? Liliana the Veil. I know, when was that? What block was it? Where they actually had, was it Corset 2019? There was a somewhat recent set where Wizards actually was going to reprint Liliana the Veil and then pulled it out at the last minute because they were afraid it's too strong, and then printed Oko. but that's neither here nor there. But they were going to actually reprint Liliana the Veil. Veil would make no sense from the lore. Yeah, I guess for Innistrad, that's probably true. Core sets, you can kind of do whatever you want. But yeah, it probably wouldn't make sense with the updated lore of Innistrad and whatever the story is in like Midnight Haunt and Crimson Vow. They're gonna print Theros. Okay, that sounds right. Well, I guess we win in the dirtiest way possible. Alrund's Epiphany. Smack you with a 9/9. Oh, opponent! Blocks and blocks. Sure. Kill them all. Sure. Opponent draws a card. Oh, wish. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. We can't really do anything on that. I don't do this. I feel guilty. I feel guilty. Why does it always want to tap itself? There we go. Well, that went well. You need to read Brandon Sanderson's short story that is Where Davrio Originated From. It's really good. Really? Yeah. Hey, what's up, JP? Good to have you. Yeah, we're playing Standard 2022 right now. We'll have actual rotation. So Standard 2022 is like a temporary event while we are waiting for Standard to rotate. Standard will rotate in just about a month now, and then we'll just have normal Standard, and Standard 2022 will go away. But I think most people are playing Standard 2022 because normal Standard's not super fun. Really? What's the best Magic story? I haven't really read Magic lore, period. I've mostly heard it made fun of. Like people talking about some books and just about how not good they are. If I want to read a good one, like what is top tier? Green, blue. Yeah, let's go red. Go. The War of the Spark books, I think, are the ones that I heard people making fun of. I'm pretty sure. Well, happen on a glade. Green, white, red, blue, black. I'll get some light. What does this do if we max it out? You gain 2, draw 2, target opponent loses 2. 2 damage up to 1 creature, you get a 2/2 bear. It's like a very mini, like, Cruel Ultimatum. Aww. Oh, opponent. Alright. That's no fun. Well, we're gonna have to draw Wrath here very quickly. Pass the turn about it. I love the Kamigawa cycle. Hey, what's up, Mads Monarch? Good game. Hey, Saf, what do you think about copyright decks? Like Robert Hovind did to point out the flaws in the copyright system. What if that becomes a thing? So I actually didn't find the time to actually read that in depth. What was the whole thing about? I saw some of it going around on Twitter, but was what they were saying is you could copyright a deck list? Oh, that's not a Wrath. All right, well, Wrath or Death. Wrath, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I think the idea that you can copyright a deck is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know what the legalities of it is. I'm sure that the copyright system is, I mean, even from just what I've seen at YouTube, is so messed up. So our copyright system is horrible, but I don't know. It's weird to me when people even try to like claim ownerships in decks or get the whole thing about like, oh, I created it. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time with that, especially like, I don't know, coming from like the music scene. I've always kind of felt like if you make something, sure, you're making it, but you're building on the backs of the people that came before you and like the influences and the music that you listen to and the music that you like. So if you're in a song, like, sure, you're the person that like wrote the song, but if it wasn't for like tons of other people, that would have never happened. And I feel like decks are the same way. Like, sure, maybe you're the one that like put the cards together. Sure, maybe you're the one that put the cards together. But at the same time, like, really, it's like a communal effort to some extent. So I think it's silly when you get too crazy about deck ownership and copyright. Wizards builds the deck setting. Yeah, sometimes it feels like that these days. That is sad, but somewhat true feeling. I mean, not all decks, but there's definitely some decks where it feels like, oh, if you just jam everything with the keyword together, it's going to be a really good deck, and Wizards designed it to do that. So wait, was the article saying that according to our current messed up whatever patent system or copyright system, you would be able to like copyright decks. Ooh, we have a huge donation from Chuck the Yak. What's up, Chuck? How are you? $20.21 for years now. I've watched those. You've got me through some hard times messages and waiting to post my own. Don't want to jinx it, but I've got a real job and their kids are back in real school today. I think you finally got me through my hard times. Chuck, that is spectacular. Oh man, I'm so happy for you. That is so exciting. Well, I hope you love the job, and hopefully all the cool stuff this cool stuff goes well. So, that is amazing. Thank you so much for the donation, and that is super good news. What is our opponent doing? Just foretelling extra turn spells and drawing cards. Apparently. Well, Path to the World Tree. Get a land. Play a land. Play a land. Foretell. Go. He was awarded copyright, but the article was very unclear about how he could ever enforce the copyright or what it means. Technically, yes, you can copyright a deck, and if you want to hire a lawyer, you can stop folks from playing. However, it would likely fail in court. Interesting. What is the process like? Do you just like send a letter to the government and say, hey, like I own this now? LOL, failed WTF. Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup to your video. The guy who copyrighted the decks is notorious for applying for frivolous copyrights in order to make a point about how flawed the copyright system is. Also, my LOL WTF BBQ account got hacked, so here I am, I guess. I was wondering where the BBQ went. Yeah, the copyright system is over my head for sure. Well, let's take an extra turn. Play a land. Gain a life. Untap. Draw some cards. Play a land. Gain some life. Pass. Well, now it's our opponent's turn to take some turns. How would you claim ownership of something owned by someone else? And also, like, how would you enforce that? What are you gonna, like... What are you gonna do? You're gonna go around to, like, GPs and look for people that playing a deck that looks like yours and then deck check them to make sure it's the same exact 75 and then take them to court? That seems like it's totally not worth the effort. The all he's exploiting is that you can't copyright a general list of things, but if you say the list is of the best or worst, it's technically a curated list, and you can copyright it, hence a deck. Huh. That is interesting. Well, maybe I gotta copyright my decks. Copyright my decks and start suing people, play them at FNMs. What a ridiculous system. I've always wanted people to, like, if I build a deck that people like enough to play it, I take that as a badge of honor. Like, that's what I want to have happen. Like, copyright the beard? That I would consider. I don't know if that's allowed or not, but I would consider it. Huh. Alright, what happens if we do this? Draw some cards, kill some stuff, make a bear. Still, like, a little worried our opponent's just going to chain together extra turn spells and win. Goldspan goes attacking. Hell, maybe they're counter spells. We will block. Wrath. About it. Has a counter. Sure. Well, go to combat. Hit ya. Thankfully, we have another Wrath. And we have all the Druid classes. They are gaining us a lot of life, I guess, which is nice. Alright, Wrath you again. The way you would enforce it is hire a lawyer and have them send scary letters. If someone ignores the letter, you could petition the courts to your case. But how would you know someone was playing your deck, though? That's the part that gets me. Like, how do you know? Yeah, the life gain is pretty big here. Well, now I guess we got to kill this Mordenkainen. Wait, if we turn this... This doesn't have ward, right? This only has ward if we activate it? Oh, turn on this land. Kill Mordenkainen. Level up. Land. Gain 1,000,000 life. Go. I mean, the easiest would be to check for tournament results and ask for a portion of the winnings, which would likely not be enforceable in court, but could be a threat. Boy, I hope that doesn't start happening. I feel like that would kill Magic. Or at least, like, competitive Magic. That would be... Oh, that'd be so bad. That would be the worst. But what if your deck wasn't really the best? Wait, what is the best part? I'm confused. I'm gonna have to just read the... I'm gonna have to read the actual article or whatever it was. I saw it going around on social media, but I didn't actually read the whole thing. Well, let's wish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 8 mana. Tibalt? Tibalt's pretty good. Tibalt. Tick it up. Land. Gain life. Land. Gain life. Go. Don't read the article, it's copywritten. Oh, that's true. Wouldn't want to get in trouble for that. Oh no. Kiko Sharks, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop to you over here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Opponent. Extra turning. I feel like every deck in this format is playing Elrond's Epiphany, isn't it? That's not every, but a lot of decks that are controller ramp, they all are playing 4 Epiphanies. I imagine you could... Adult Gold Dragon. Hits us. Okay. This game is going to get interesting. Opponent passes. Alright, now what? I don't want to wrath away all our Druids classes, I don't think. Epiphany Ultimatum is a pretty good comparison. Let's Eureka moment. Put a land into play. Gain a little bit of life. You happen on a Glade. Get back Tibalt. Opponent counters. Sure. Pass a turn. Personally, I'm heartened by the actual lawyer saying that no court on Earth will back your play if you try to enforce anything copyrighted. Top 100 cards you can play in Commander, if one of them happens to be Marin of Clan Neltoth. Yeah, the whole thing is such a weird idea to me. I'm interested in why this Jeskai deck is playing Lifelink Dragon over Goldspan Dragon. Worried about aggro, I guess? I don't really know. Alright, we have run our opponent out of cards, officially. Oh, alright, here comes Faceless Haven. Here comes a big attack. Down to 22. Well, Coma's good. Play Coma. Start making some coils. About it. Oh, they do have Goldspan. Alright, so opponent's going to town. Goldspan Dragon. Tap it down. About it. Hits us. Sure. I mean, we can still wish for Devastating Mastery. Coma. Well, Elrond's Epiphany. Our turn for the extra turn. If I was going to copyright one of my decks, what would it be? Oh, so I don't think I would actually... I would actually ever copyright a deck, but if I was going to copyright a deck... Wow, that's actually not bad. Here comes the Dorks. Phone it, blocks the big one. And Devastating Mastery only hits... It only hits non-lands. Oh, that's kind of insane. That's kind of insane. Extra turn. Coma Coil. Alright, that's good enough. We will wish. Actually, go to combat attack. Hit ya. Opponent. Oh, this is going to be a good turn. This is going to be a good turn. Maybe Mono Red Prison. Hammer Time. I don't know. It gets sticky with like who actually created a deck in some cases, which I like to try to avoid. The first ever against the odds deck. just for fun. All right, Devastating Mastery. Full control. Sack a coil. Smack ya. A lot. Oh, what a turd. You happen on a Glade. Get back our friend Tybalt. Your opponent was at 50 life a minute ago. Opponent was at 50 life a minute. That is kind of a sweet combo, actually. There's too many Panharmonicon decks to copy. Can I just copyright Panharmonicon and no one else is allowed to do it? About it, Bazzes. Do we have enough mana to fully level it up? Because I think the last Druid's class... The last Druid's class didn't have any levels yet, so we had to pay 8, I think. Alright, draw some cards. Snipe your thing. The world's biggest and best world tree. The literal world tree. Combat. Attack ya. Wow, what a blowout. This deck's actually kind of sweet. That is from Druid class. Druid class, the last level can Can turn a land into a creature with power equal to the number of lands you control. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. You'd have a turn. Stocky! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And opponent gives us how do we miss lethal? They also have the creature land, remember. So they have another blocker there. Even with I mean, I guess I didn't think it. I didn't really calculate all the way through. Even with Faceless Haven blocking. Why win today when you can win tomorrow? Let's try another. So that deck, the deck does some sweet, spectacular things. I have Lawrence for the 6th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that deck, I mean, downside, it's a deck built around Alrund's Epiphany. Upside, it does some pretty sweet things, like wishing. We got the Wish a Crackle with power on the sideboard for 35 damage combo kill. We got the Wishing Devastating Mastery with animated lands. So it does do some really fun things. And Wish is a really interesting card. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Wish hasn't really done much in Standard 2022 or anywhere really yet, but maybe after rotation, Wish will do something, because it actually is, like, relatively, I mean, it's fairly costed. It does something pretty powerful. We saw past versions of it actually see play, so we'll see. But let's play something that does not involve taking dirty extra turn spells. Let's, do we want to sacrifice? Do we want to Jund Treasure Ramp, or do we want to almost certainly lose with mono white colorless Flumph control? Are you working on some budget Standard 2022 decks? Yeah, there'll be some budget Standard 2022 decks coming out. In the next two or 3 weeks, we'll have budget Standard 2022. Ooh, Historic Bard Class looks sweet. Yeah, we played a little bit of a Historic Bard Class deck, and it was definitely super fun. Similar to your build. This was a viewer submitted build we played. Not a big. I don't really like Grape Shot in the deck. I don't know if it's necessary. Flumph. I mean, the deck is okay. So this Flumph deck, I was just messing around with. So I was trying to figure something out. I wanted to see if you could build basically mono white colorless luck control. So the main idea of this deck is like mono white control, but our big card draw engines, because we're mono white and we don't actually get, good card draw because we're mono white. We're trying to get lucky with Treasure Chest. We're trying to get lucky with Forsaken Monument. So the idea is, in the early game, we Flumph it up. Flumph keeps us alive, lets us draw a little bit, play some defense, and then maybe we use a dungeon map to ramp into Forsaken Monument to make tons of mana, and then can deck many things to draw cards if we get lucky, or maybe lose a game and discard our hand if we get unlucky, or Treasure Chest to make a bunch of treasures and draw a bunch of cards, and to win the game. We don't really have a straightforward plan. I guess we probably Crawling Barrens a bunch of times, or we can dungeon map into a dungeon a bunch of times. So that is the main plan. I mean, the deck, you don't have to cut Grape Shot on my account. Like, other people tend to play Grape Shot too. I've just never felt it was necessary. I've always liked the just like hasty creature plan, but I don't think you got to get rid of it. Hey, Autumn Jake, have a wonderful night. Good to see you. Good to see you. See you on Monday. Too bad there's no more Ugin for the deck. Is that bad or good? No white mana. We'll be fine. Oh no. Mono white on the play? Well, hopefully we draw some white lands real quick. About it. Flum Narset would actually kind of work. Hey, what's up, Elf? How are you? Double Monk. Oh my god. Oh, that's probably not an especially beatable hand for our deck. Triple Monk! And a Battlefield Raptor. Oh my goodness, it ushered. That's Well, all right. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sure. Well, that was a pretty impressive mono white draw. Yeah, we didn't have any actual. We had ways to make white mana, but not fast enough for that start. If we had one more turn, we could have wrathed. Do you have YouTube vids on the best commander cards coming out in the latest sets? I have missed a few sets and I have no idea what to get. Ah, well, Bark, we do have videos on the commander YouTube where every set Tomer and I talk about our favorite commander cards. So definitely check them out on the commander YouTube. Every set has them. Well, white mana this time is good. Planes, go. Amiria's Call, go. About it. Innkeeper, sure. Well, it's a treasure chest. All right, let the luck begin. Come on, Magic Gods. Oh, if we roll a 1 here, I'm going to be so disappointed. Ooh, John Day. All right, John Treasures, about it. Kaylin. And what are the first few cards you will spend wild cards on in Historic Horizons? Actually, you know, I think we just play this first. I actually did a whole tier ranking video, but some of the cards that are at the top of my list, if I'm going to spend wild cards, these are cards I think go in multiple decks. Looking at stuff like Seasoned Pyromancer, looking at Dragon Rage Channeler as far as uncommons, but uncommons hopefully won't be too hard to get. Ranger Captain Vios is another one. Ooh, Goldspan Dragon. All right, sure. But I would definitely check out the tier ranking list, because that was the whole concept of it, was to kind of prioritize. Ooh, to kind of prioritize what cards you got to get first. Interesting. I mean, and it also depends on what you want to play. I think, as far as just building a collection, ideally you want stuff that goes in multiple decks. Enchantress stuff, those are cards that I'm going to buy right away, because I'm really excited to play Enchantress. But the downside is they do kind of only go in one deck. So if you're looking at like Cephas compared to Seasoned Pyromancer, you're probably better off getting Seasoned Pyromancer, just because Seasoned Pyromancer probably goes in like 5 different decks. When Cephas goes in one deck, if Enchantress isn't good, then Cephas isn't going to do anything. So that's kind of how I look at it. Dragon Rage Channeler is probably going to be very strong. I would be surprised if it was not pretty strong. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. I guess we gotta take the safe route. Really wanted to cast the Forsaken Monument, but we can't just keep getting smacked by Goldspan. Gain a bit of life. Pass the turn. We need our Flumph. We need our Flumph. Favorite archetype? I mean, probably it might be combo. Maybe like mid-range combo. I feel like I play a lot of combo decks because of various series. I do enjoy Control. I don't mind playing, but I never play for content. But I actually like playing Control on my own sometimes. 5-color Druid, we ended up about 50-50. Another one, eh? As far as just win percentage, we were about 50-50, but the deck did some really sweet things, dog. Yeah, so I'd probably lean towards mid-range. If I was going to rank up, maybe like combo mid-range, and then aggro and control. Maybe aggro, then control. Alright, so we're at 10. We do have treasure chest. Play the land. Dungeon map. gain some life. Treasure chest. Come on, Magic Gods. Give us some card draw, please. How is that possible? How is that possible? Oh my goodness, that's so unlucky. Oh, okay. Maybe the whole concept of this deck is a bust. Well, expel the Goldspan. That's so incredibly brutal. I mean, we probably end up losing because of that, honestly. About it. Untaps. Especially since our opponent's really good at drawing Goldspans. It's already 2 of them. Opponent, land. And I'd run 4 deck before I run Treasure Chest. Wow! Oh, come on. Oh, opponent's rolling 20s. Opponent's rolling 20s. We're rolling 1s. Literally. 3 Goldspans at the top. And the top 2 cards. Top 15. Kind of insane. Well, Professor of Symbology. Mascot Exhibition. Cast it. Pass the turn. We needed to roll that die. Ridiculous. Just reasonably. We needed anything other than a 1. Will Goldspan be the best creature in Standard after rotation? I mean, we'll see what Innistrad brings. I would be surprised if it wasn't one of the best creatures in Standard. It very well could be. Opponent. Going to kill stuff. And goes to combat. Attacks. Treasure. And has more removal. Well, maybe that's why you don't. Maybe that's why you shouldn't build decks around die rolling cards. They can get ya. All right, well, we need a pretty impressive draw here. Come on, deck, make up for that 1. Opponent drawing cards. It's a Plains. Flumph, betrayed by the Magic Gods. I mean, our opponent they rolled the 20, we rolled the 1. It is D&D standard, so that's fitting. It's a very flavorful game of D&D standard. From the spoilers of Eldraine, are you worried at all it would be or from the spoilers of Innistrad, are you worried at all it would be a new Eldraine? Not really. I mean, the spoilers that we've seen they look strong, but most of them seem to be strong in a relatively harmless sort of way. So we'll see. I do think it seems more powerful than the other sets we have in Standard. All right, Clarion Spirit. I mean, we got a Doomscar, so this is pretty fine. And there's no way we're going to roll a 1 with Treasure Chest again. Hey, Seth, I quit during War of the Spark, and looking to get back into MTGA, should I go with Standard or Historic? Ooh, well, if you're thinking about going with Standard, I would wait until after rotation, which is very soon. So I'd wait till after rotation for Standard. Historic is sweet, but I will warn you, it's ridiculously expensive. Just because they're always adding new cards to the format. Like, there's constantly... yeah. Get in there, Faceless Haven. There's constantly new cards added to the format, which makes it expensive to keep up on. So that's just something to keep in mind. So I guess it's up to you and what your collection looks like now. But yeah, I enjoy both formats. Standard can be more hit or miss. When Standard's good, it's really fun. When it's not good, it's the opposite. Opponent with another Redain. Jeez. That's a thing we can't cast. Well, tap land treasure chest. These Redains are kind of ruining our day here. Are we dead because of Redain? Probably. Opponent land. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skyclave. Yeah. Attacks with everything. Well, this is kind of fine. So block the Clarion Spirit. Well, now we're not dead because our opponent played it that way. I'm excited for Standard after rotation too. Well, we're at the board. Finally get out from under the Redain lock. Play the land, pass the turn. Opponent. Oh, alright, here they come. Legion Angel. It's a Legion Angel. One, two, three, four, 5. Forsaken Monument. Land and Cosmos Elixir. Hall? Well, I guess we could have. I was thinking this card did like literally nothing in our deck, but I guess there are situations where I guess it can do something. Luminarch Aspirant. More Legion Angels. Well, we're still gonna need to draw something. Well, Professor of Symbology is not the absolute worst. Play Professor. Get a Mascot Exhibition. Play Mascot Exhibition. Pass the turn, gain a bit of life. We need another Wrath. We need another Wrath. Hey, what's up, Ludi? How are you? Right now we're Flumphing. Legion Angel, number 30. And a Code Spell Cleric. About it. Gonna go attacking. Well, can we draw a Wrath? Or at least a treasure chest to roll a 1 with, so we can go out on our own terms. Opponent goes attacking. Down to 5. Planes at the worst possible time. Luminarch Aspirant is just a gross card. People are sleeping on it. Well, I mean, are they? I feel like Luminarch Aspirant is like considered one of the best aggro threats in Standard. I mean, I think it was one of the best aggro threats before rotation in Standard. Hey Seth, are you planning to do an updated list of Restore Balance? Are there any good additions in Horizons 2? Really love your budget list. Thanks and keep up the good work. Well, Costu, possibly. I'm not sure that much really changed. I'm not sure that much really changed because of Modern Horizons 2, but I do love playing Restore Balance. So, an update. It's been, how long has it been since the last one? Mono White again. Perhaps a popular deck at the moment, this Mono White. About it. So yeah, I'm sure we'll do an update. Opponent gets in, hits us. Well, Wratham. I think Goldspan and Elrond's Epiphany, yeah, sooner or later people will realize. They'll realize just how insane those cards could be. We're playing 4 Flumph. We haven't drawn any Flumphs, but we do have many of them. Okay. Well, alright, let's see if this can betray us horribly again. Opponent. Reading Treasure Chest. They don't need to kill it, because we're going to roll a 1 anyway, so they don't really need to bother. You can see I'm thinking about it, but it's not really... Yeah, okay, well, sure. So opponent decides to kill it, which that's fine. That's fine. Takes away our chance of drawing a 1. Well. Skyclave, eat the Skyclave. About it. Yeah, we haven't seen a Flumph yet. That's the problem. Flumph would be blocking, like, Flumph is here for the aggro matchups. It would be blocking so incredibly well, but we can't find it, no matter how hard we try. About it. Skyclave's the Skyclave. Thinking. Attacking. Well, let's foretell. Play the prof. Just multi-find Flumph. Yeah, I mean, Flumph will dig us out of the... Flumph will dig us out of the... the mulligan, right? As our opponent attacks into it. It'll make up for it. I think we need to... There's a mistake with the sideboard that should have one of the land tutor environmental sciences. You can only foretell from your hand, so this Doomscar is gonna be, well, actually, let me make sure. Yeah, you exile it from your hand. So this one's gonna be 7 mana forever. You can't foretell it once it's been exiled. It'd be sweet if it did. The Rakdos Storm deck the other day was really cool. I'm sure there's a way to make it more consistent. Maybe going Izzet instead. We can look at it. I still have the deck list. Maybe we do some more storming. Yeah, what would Izzet offer? I feel like there's some pieces that black has that are just, alright, so opponent returning. I'll just take the random dork, pass the turn. About it. Brawl isn't in standard, though. In a few months, what do you think of Learned Lessons? You didn't like them much during spoilers. I mean, I think they're really good in Best of 1. I think they're especially good in Standard 2022. We'll see what happens after rotation. My guess is in Best of 3, they'll probably see more play than they saw before rotation. But I don't expect them to be... Well, I still don't think they're going to be like staple level play. But in Best of 1, they're really good. About it. Sure. More removal. And wow. Alright, getting frisky. Well, killing this Faceless Haven is pretty great. Sure. Sure. Well, let's see if you can keep... Let's see if you can top deck. Opponent says nice. And... The Tony Mac! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subs. There we go. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super tier for you. Thank you. Definitely not attacking yet. We got a fade removal. If our opponent top decks another removal spell, like a portable hole, then we can still die. Code Spell Cleric. And passes. So what cards are people sleeping on? Oh, that's too risky, I think. Actually, let's deck many things. Gain a bit of life. Summonings. Alright, the deck is here. Time to roll some dice. I think Vanishing Verse is really good. One of the weird things about having Standard 2022 is I feel like so many people are already playing... Alright, opponent top decks a removal spell. I feel like so many people are already playing post-rotation Standard that there's probably going to be a lot less sleepers than in the past. I feel like a lot of the good stuff is already going to be known more or less. Ugh. Alright, how can we do this without dying? Which is a real concern. Getting back Doomscar doesn't do anything. So we deck many things. Professor of Symbology. Alright, let's deck. Whoa! Oh no! Wow! Oh, come on. Oh, Rita. Arita. I was just trying to tap. I was just trying to cast things, and apparently Faceless Haven had other plans. I wasn't trying to activate it. I was just trying to tap. I wasn't trying to activate a creature, period. I was trying to just tap for mana. Activating a creature there at all just makes us die. Tapping, yeah, we have to play creatures there. We're just dead. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm not taking blame. It's Arena. It's Arena's fault. Alright. Well, let's see what our opponent's up to. Faceless Haven's revenge for that very funny video. Yeah, it got us good there. Bobo. Oh, I mean, I think if Arena was programmed better, would have never happened. All right, more white aggro. White aggro seems to be quite the popular archetype at the moment. Once you reach a new rank like Diamond 4, can you demote down to Plat, for example? No. So you can move up and down within a rank, but you can't actually fall out of a rank. A quick reminder that our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom, and if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. Oh my god, the chest. Our die rolls have been amazingly bad so far. So far, we have rolled a 1 and a 2 with our die rolls in this deck, so we are not spinning very well. Opponent. Another dork. Well, play a land. Treasure chest. Ophidian! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As far as building... Wow, that's the first Flumph we've drawn. Alright. Treasure chest. Alright, that's a reasonable draw. Tap land, go. This Linvala is still an annoyance. We really want to be able to Wrath, but this Linvala is making that not easy. Opponent hits us. Archpriest of Iroen. Well, let's expel Linvala. Get down our Flumph to play some deal. Finally, we Oh, alright. Well, in that case, we are once again back to being dead. Concerted defenses. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can build like mono black Forsaken Monument. You can build mono any color, really. When it comes down to it, it's mostly just about support cards because you're just ramping into Ugin anyway. Alright, Flumph. That doesn't save us, though. I mean, the problem is this Linvala just fizzles our Wrath. So, well, the counter, really. We had the plan. Tazri. Sure. Alright, too little, too late. Have you played the Party Monk class deck? No. There's a Party Monk class deck? I mean, the deck has Flumph in it, so... I mean, if there was ever a question about how how good the deck is, the fact that it's playing 4 Flumphs, I would assume is a dead giveaway. Hey, what's up, Kimberly girl? How are you? Alright. Oh, he won a die roll? Huh? My favorite historic deck is 0 colored lands monument deck. Biggest perk, 4 cards and 0 sideboarding. 0 sideboarding is always a nice bonus. No worries, Kimberly. I appreciate you hanging out. That's the most important thing, really. Alright, opponent's got a rogue class. Well, yeah, let's get down to dungeon map. New attacks. Ooh, monk party, eh? Yeah, I mean, I've played some party decks. The party decks are, I mean, they're good if your stuff stays on the battlefield. Well, we will trade. Play the land pass. Actually, let's do this. Let's get a land. Get a land pass to Eagle! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My country's currency is worth nothing. A few dollars is actually a lot. Oh, where do you live, Kimberly girl? How are you tonight, Eagle? Good to see you. With rotation in Innistrad, will party mechanic finally be playable? I'm still a little nervous about the party mechanic. I feel like the issue with the party mechanic is you got to keep 4 creatures on the battlefield. Even if the mechanic was just built around keeping any 4 creatures on the battlefield, I still feel like that would be relatively challenging. Well, Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of the Chariot. Depew! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. On a related note, would it be fun to add Valaka and Emiria to Historic? Emiria, yes. I think Emiria would be fun. I think Valaka would be very unfun. Yeah, good to have you, Eagle. I'm working a new commander deck. Realize that with enough tokens on board, Piru and Veto is a win con. Oh, because of the lifelink. Yeah, that's actually a sweet idea. Well, block. Get frog. Draw a card. Gonna need to find a Wrath. Gonna need to find a Wrath. Sure. Opponent gets a 4/4. We get a Skyclave. One. Ugh. Oh, that's a lot of damage, isn't it? Well, Forsaken Monument. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I guess we gotta pass. Opponent. Hey, what's up, Winzo? Good to see ya. Yeah, sounds really sweet, Doug. I like that idea. Hey, Seth, I've been out of Magic for a while, and I used to watch you all the time. Any tips for a Storm Commander? Ooh. What colors do you want to play? Niv can be a good Storm Commander, because you get card draw, and you get kind of a built-in weird grape shot in some of them as you're casting your spells. Brawl, if you want to go mono blue, can be really powerful. Opponent, Faceless Haven. Levels up. Attacks for a ton. Sure. We gotta win one game with Flumph, and then we can... And then we can play something else. But we do need to win... We do need to win a game with Flumph. We can't just never win a game with Flumph. It's gotta be proved that it's possible to win with Flumph. Well, Doomscar is good. Whether or not it's fast enough remains to be seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Doomscar. Sweep the board. Treasure chest. Oh, treasure chest. Not again. Not again. Okay, Flumph did some work. It kept us alive. Okay, we got the treasure chest. We got the deck of many things in hand. Potentially can loop them from the graveyard. Opponent. Thinking. Wondering how lucky we might be. Please not a 1. We're just entering a standard that's going to be about rolling dice. We do not need our coin flipping luck to carry over to dice rolling format. That's not great. Okay. Lair of the Hydra. Swarm Shambler. Well, Hall of Oracles. One, two, three, four. So we can't do everything. Alright, treasure chest. You gotta be good for once. One time treasure chest. One time! Come on. Okay, 14 is okay. Frogheim is actually kind of a good card, isn't it? Professor of Symbology. Gets a reduced to memory. Get rid of the Froghemoth. Opponent gets a 1/1, unfortunately. Oh, we were just barely trying to hold on. About it. Taps. Are we dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Well, if they have removal, then we are dead. Oh, Flumph fly! Is Jaspera Sentinel going to be in Standard 2022? Yes. Everything that you're seeing play in the Standard 2022 event will be in post-rotation Standard. How is your disappointment level with the D&D set? I'm actually kind of curious. Like, how did you come away from the set feeling? Like, I know going into it, we had a lot of conversations about the set, about the idea of doing a crossover. How do you feel about it now that it's out and you've gotten to play with it a little bit? Do you like it? Did it meet your expectations? I feel like the power level is not very high. Seth, why is Flumph in a mono white deck? Could it work better in a different style? Yeah, I'm sure that's a possibility. What style of deck would you play it in, Bobo? Yeah, I haven't really played. I don't play that much limited. Every once in a while, but I've heard a lot of people saying that it's been like one of the worst limited formats recently. Taima is a disrespectful card. That's a okay. We're gonna see about treasure chests. We have 2 of them. We rolled okay last time. Hit ya. Well, I mean, it would have taken a miraculously powerful set for anything to break into actual Standard. Like, the problem there isn't Adventures in the Forgotten Realms or Strixhaven or Kaldheim or Zendikar. It's Wizards went way over the top last year. Like, that's the issue in my opinion. Well, alright, 5 treasures is something, I guess. Could come in handy in the future. Get in with the profit, yeah. I mean, 5 treasures, so we spent, what, 7 mana for 5 treasures? I guess that's actually pretty bad. Maybe treasure chest is just not good. Most of the cards are defensive. The only misrepresented thing on the card for me was Terrask. Yeah, I guess a lot of D&D fans were not happy with Terrask, and probably rightly so. I don't know a ton of D&D lore, but from what I've heard, Terrask is supposed to be like the biggest, baddest, like craziest monster that like eats whole worlds. And then in Magic, it's kind of like, man, this thing is not very good. It doesn't even have hexproof. They should have made it like a 20/20. It doesn't even. They really should have made it a 20/20. It should have been a lethal attacker. It doesn't have trample, so it gets chump blocked all day by small creatures. They should have had. Oh, what's the matter, Bobo? They should have had it be a 20/20, I think. About it.
You can walk through walls. Anything looks easy.
Are you going after our treasure chest? Alright, grows the Spellbinder.
Well, you're not looking for spirit.
Goes attacking. Well, come on, treasure chest. Ooh, deck of many things is sweet. Play the land. Treasure chest. Even more treasures. We are very treasure full. Deck of many things. Only 1 card in hand. No way this can go wrong. Wow, we are trying our hardest. Go to combat, hit you, get back the treasure chest.
Fine. I can shake it off.
Environmental sciences. All right, you are go vote it. we got the combo. We got the combo. I wonder if Body of Research could actually work in post rotation Standard. I mean, technically, Terrace can be cheese in regular needy too, so being chump blockable is a favor. I mean, I think chump blockable is alright, but it's only a 10/10. It's not actually like, I don't know. It's not actually that game-ending of a creature, considering its mana cost. Any plans for more Pioneer? I'm sure I'll play some Pioneer here and there. I don't have anything in the super-duper, like, in the next few days, immediate future, but I'm sure we will do some more, Well, deck of many things. Get back. Treasure chest. Play treasure chest. Activate treasure chest. I mean, looping treasure chest is kind of cool. Draw some cards, gain some life. Hit Kaya. Okay. Okay. We're doing the grind. Opponent Vanishing Verse. Sure. I mean, I don't know if it's a real combo, but deck of many things keeps getting back treasure chest, and treasure chest keeps kind of doing things slightly. Not really, but a little. Opponent hits us. Between Modern Rises, Historic Rises, Eldorate, Standard, argue Pioneer is the best non-commander format at the moment. Yeah, we have Flumph is a great blocker of Elite Spellbinder, but we have not been able to draw it. About it. Gonna Elite Spellbinder again. We're down to 5. Not a high life total. We gotta win a game with Flumph, then we can try a different deck. Yeah, the biggest issue. So the biggest issue of doing more Pioneer content is people just tend not to watch it. Like that's the thing. Like people talk about. I don't really get it because people talk about Pioneer and they're like, oh, play more Pioneer, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds sweet. And then when I actually do a video of Pioneer, it ends up just being like pretty unpopular. Which doesn't mean I'll never play it, because I like to play formats that I enjoy, and if I'm enjoying Pioneer, I'll just play Pioneer. But I do try to keep that in mind, what other people are interested in too. Would you be willing to try Time at Turbo? Ooh, I mean, we've played some Time at before, but maybe do you have a list, Air? Opponent goes attacking. I'll kill the spirit. Kaya's actually a very strong card. Kaya, like, just repeatedly playing Elite Spellbinder is kind of ridiculous. I twitch. And a land. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are dying, aren't we? Well, go to combat. Attack Kaya, attack Kaya. Yeah, this Infinite Spellbinder is strong. I mean, we haven't drawn enough Flumphs. I think that's the problem. Like, I think when it comes down to it, the problem is we just have not been able to draw enough Flumphs. Cosmos Elixir. Skyclave Apparition. Spellbinder again. Fotis sacks. Gets it back, draws some cards. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, it's always going back to hand. There's not really any way to get around it. Opponent, more Deadly Disputes. Refilling. Alright. Opponent untaps. We're at 4. My favorite legacy deck is Manaless Dredge because it's barely playing Magic at all, and I love it. Yeah, Manaless Dredge is a really unique deck. There's nothing really like it in all of Magic. Opponent. Spellbinder. Again. I mean, we're holding on. These creature lands are always looming. Professor of Symbology. Mascot Exhibition. Land. Oh! Infinite Kayas! Alright, another Kaya. Yeah, maybe Kaya's the sleeper, actually. People were asking earlier what the sleeper is, and Kaya just seems really impressive every time. Every time it's played, it seems very impressive. Is there a way to do this without losing? I'll go to combat. Attack Kaya. Attack Kaya. Opponent blocks. Opponent blocks. They get back the eye twitch, they do it again. Tutors from the sideboard. I mean, it's really just Kaya. Like, this is all just Kaya. Come on, treasure chest. Oh, no. That's... We are defeating... The luck is carrying over. The luck is carrying over. The coin flipping luck is... I mean, I guess I technically did, because I died to my own. Oh, my goodness. What are the odds? That's the second one. We're hitting one like 50% of the time when it should be 5% of the time. We're not stopping until we win with Flumph. I don't care. If this, I mean, it'll happen eventually. Our opponent will mulligan. Maybe this will be a 24-hour stream. Maybe this will be a 48-hour stream. Maybe we'll cancel spoiler season and just keep streaming until Flumph eventually wins. Sweet lands deck. Let me see. Rickedness. Well, we got a Flumph. I think that's the problem. We just have not been drawing Flumph. Now we're going to be up against Control, where Flumph is not good. All right. Opponent. Oh, ramp. All right. Flumph. Boom. The namesake card. We haven't drawn many Flumphs, and we've rolled a lot of ones. Opponent. Oh, it's the party deck. All right. Archpriest. And passes. Well, land. Treasure chest. Go. Did you build for Historic Brawl Mander? No, I don't play too much Historic Brawl. Every once in a while, but I haven't played any Historic Brawl Mander. Tazri. The land deck looks fun. Kasima, I think Kasima could be considered as a sleeper. Kasima's a card that I think is pretty powerful. It's slow to get going, but it's very powerful. Opponent. All right, big attack. Block. Flumph value. Draw something good. Like another Flumph. Well, okay. Dungeon map. All right, Flumph. We need white mana. We need white mana, buddy. Isn't Flumph supposed to be helpful? Isn't that the whole thing about Flumph? It's supposed to tell you what the bad guys are doing or whatever, and it's super friendly and helpful. I can't believe that happened either. That might be. I wonder if that's the first time that's ever happened in Magic. This Flumph has not been as helpful as you. Oh no! Now they're hexproof. Ugh. Wow! They just rolled into the full party. Our opponents are not rolling ones. We are rolling ones. Our opponents are certainly not. Opponent. Passes. Cosmo. Yeah, all right. Well, that's not the... We had the Flumph, and it's still not enough. Although our opponent did just go party, 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 party. Which has to be, like, at least rolling a 15. I mean, also, maybe Flumph is the reason our opponent had a party, though, when it comes down to it. Like, did our Flumph draw... Flumph's supposed to help us, not the opponent. Or, this is like a traitorous Flumph that is... that is helping our opponent assemble their party, rather than helping our party. But Flumph is supposed to be good, and it's cute and unique. I'm going to keep trying, dog. I'm going to keep trying. We are going to win a game with Flumph. It's going to happen. We go for... Okay. Well, that sounds fine. We got a Wrath. Please don't be Control. Yeah, Treasure Chest has betrayed us a lot. I mean, we are playing a Control deck that's built around rolling dice and Flumph. So, the fact that our record is not ideal is probably to be expected. Shambling Ghast. We're really good at drawing treasure chests. we draw like multiple treasure chests a game and then roll once with them. Bet right now that you won't end the stream until you win. I'll stay as long as you do. I mean, I'll bet that. Although, I mean, I'll tell you, I don't think it's gonna take hours and hours. I think I don't think that deck is this bad. I think the deck's not good, but I don't think it's that bad. And I think we've just not really had it come together yet. And we keep rolling ones. But yeah, I mean, we will win with this deck before the stream ends. No matter how long it takes. But I'm not expecting it to take like 10 hours. Put one Flumph in mono green. No, that's cheating. I consider that cheating. You gotta play it as it lies. That's the rules of Flumphing. Alright, let's get rid of this Spellbinder before the Kaya comes down to make it infinite. No, there's no more ranking down to do. I don't think. We're at the, like, bottom of the rank we're in. So I don't actually think... I don't know how the whole MMR thing works. Maybe MMR-wise it matters, but as far as just actual rank, I don't think it actually matters. Are you going to summer camp to see Ween? I really wanted to, but then everything just got super busy with the house stuff and the puppy stuff, so... Yeah, I really wanted to, but instead... Well, there's the Kaya. Instead, I'm dealing with all that stuff, so unfortunately not this year. Plus, it's still, like, kind of a weird time to be doing... Wow, going after our treasure map. What a jerk that Kaya is. Well, we will get our revenge. Skyclave. Plains. Kill the Kaya. Pass the turn. Please don't wrath. Treasure chest. There's too many treasure cards in Magic now. Treasure Cove, treasure map, treasure chest. That's a nightmare. Blood on the Snow being able to reanimate a Planeswalker is actually pretty powerful. Well, pass. This might not be the one after all. I feel like we've played the same deck 5 times in a row. Is this deck, like, super popular? I think we've spent the last, like, 10 matches playing either Mono White or Orzhov. Opponent. They have a lot of mana. Much more than us. About it. Alright. This is not the one. Yeah, it seems like it's a really high percent. How Wizards and Gavin thought literally exactly Redain would nerf Snow is beyond me. Actually, I don't know if you saw that Mark Rosewater actually in his... I don't know if you saw Mark Rosewater in his state design kind of said that. I believe it was in the state of the design that brought up the fact that they should have made more Snow hate. And that was something we were telling them. We've been saying that since the original Modern Horizons made Snowlands strictly better than Basic Lands. Like, you really got to make Snow hate. Like, you don't want Snowlands to be strictly better than Basic Lands. And then, yeah, and then Mero did his State of Design and was like, yeah, we should have printed more Snow hate. There was like a tiny bit in Modern Masters 2, but we should have actually printed Snow hate. Like, yeah. Imagine that. I mean, Redane's kind of a joke as Snow hate. Redane's a fine card for Standard, but as far as actually being a reason not to play Snow, I don't think that's actually the case. Well, treasure chest, go. I don't think anyone's like, oh no, I'm not gonna play Blood on the Snow because someone might Redane me. I mean, it doesn't gotta be destroy all Snow permanents. It doesn't have to be ridiculous, but they should have went a little farther. Or maybe like a lot farther. But they need to go farther than they did go. Alright, Flumph. Give us that value. Opponent's already got so many cards in hand. Oh, more treasure chests. We have a new donation, Dan Wildfire, $2 donation. Here's my rough def for Piru. Ooh. Yeah, that's a sweet idea. Taking advantage of the lifelink sacrifice mode is definitely a spicy idea. I like it. Well, we will foretell. Miss a land drop past the turn. Opponent also missing land drops. Yeah, a new donation from Dan Wildfire. I really like it. Thank you so much for the donation, Doug. Yeah, it's definitely cool. You build a lot of sweet commander decks, and that's definitely a lot of powerful commander decks too. But that's definitely a fun idea. Opponent goes attacking. All right, can we draw a land so we can roll a one with our treasure chest? No. Opponent. Neverwind Dryad. And thinking. Passing. Alright, that's a land. Show us a non-1 number. 20 is actually, like, kind of bad. Actually, I guess Cosmoth Elixir's fine. I'll pass the turn. Draw a card. Still about to get Coma'd into Oblivion, though. Did you get my email with the Krev and Ragna deck? I think it's right up your alley. Dirtle and draw cards till like turn 10 or 12 and Killer Red. Oh yeah, I did see that, Doug. Yeah, the deck looks fun too. I had already had one built for Tomer's thing yesterday. But yeah, the Krev and Ragna deck does look really cool. I could definitely see playing it at some point. Neverwin? I mean, it might have been a bit of a Freudian slip with this deck, because we haven't been doing a lot of winning with it. Save us, Flumph. Everyone draws. Not a land. How are we having such 4 lands out of 15? Aha! It's a land. Well, Forsaken Monument. Opponent. Yeah, I mean, I think that Neverwinter Dryad, it could see some play as a ramp card, depending on what other mana dork type stuff we get. Industrial Revolution, 2 white, snow lands are basic lands. If you control a human... Alright, opponent's got a counter. Bounces the elixir. Gets Artifactate. Yeah. Okay. How about a Wrath? How about one of our many, many Wraths? Flumph has drawn us cards, but Flumph is... Man, maybe Flumph is just absolutely horrible. Like, Flumph is drawing us cards, but Flumph is also drawing our opponent's cards, and those cards are killing all of our good cards. So I'm not sure that Flumph is actually benefiting us. And also, Flumph is really bad at drawing us lands, apparently. Opponent. Bounces everything. Oh my god. The Dryad returns. Land, please. Magic gods. Please. We don't want to discard 20 cards to hand size. Peter Petable. Not a land. Gee whiz. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, well. Yeah. 4 mana to get a land, but we did it. Flumph. Discard many cards. Seems fine as a group hug commander. I mean, it's not even a legend, is it? Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it would be a sweet uncommon. The only thing I can think is, and I'm not enough of a D&D person to know, is Flumph important enough to D&D that it just, like, has to be a rare? Is it some sort of, like, D&D flavor thing? Should have made it a mythic. They should have created a entirely new rarity just for Flumph. Mega mythic. Mega mythic. Flumph will be the only card at that rarity. Still not a land. Okay. Opponent. Well, we're gonna mill him out. We're gonna mill him out. If we keep making him draw with Flumph, they're gonna run out of cards. Chuck the Yak, 25 months. Over 2 years, indeed. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you. Oh, extra turn spells. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Potent. Casting it all. Crazy Rex for the 17th month. Hey, it's a land for the 17th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can't do everything. So, well, we got a Wrath, or we're going to lose right now. Doomscar. Cosmos Elixir. Draw a card. Oh, gain life, rather. Go. Flumph lives in the Undark where everything is evil and powerful, but it's weak and good. Alright, more Cyclone Summoners. Yeah. And more extra turn spells. Well, there's a land. Forsaken Monument. Go. Alright, well, here comes a whole bunch of extra turds, I assume. Opponent goes to combat. Expel Cyclone Summoner. Flumph would have made a decent box. Yeah, we need a masterpiece. A masterpiece Flumph. Oh, opponent. Bounces Cyclone Summoner. Replays Cyclone Summoner. Passes. Well, play a land. Is the point of our opponent's deck just to keep doing this over and over again? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forsaken Monument. Cosmos Elixir. Go. Can't draw a card. Opponent untaps. It's a ramp deck that looks to win with Coma Epiphany, but has Cyclone Loop for board control. Well. Alright. Opponent does that again. Goes to combat attacks. We can't cast our Expel, and we're dead. Alright. Sure. Oh, thing with that combo, long shots, is since it has to be in modern, I really struggle to wonder why I wouldn't just play Swans of Vertigo. Like that's kind of the as much as I love playing janky cards, I also it really annoys me to play. It really annoys me to play like strictly worse version of their jank cards. Like if I can do the combo with Swans, it's not all that appealing for me to. It's not all that appealing for me to add in an extra card and try to do it with Flumph. So that's kind of the issue. Like, I feel like... So my experience has been, like, when I do that, and then I, like, make a video of it, everyone just says, oh, yeah, well, you should have just done it with Swans. And I don't really have a good answer to that, because it's like, well, yeah, I guess you're kind of right. So I would like to find a way to make Flumph good that was not just Swans with extra steps. About it. Hitting us. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this. Wow, we actually killed the eye twitch. All right. Yeah, that would be interesting. Is Teferi enchantment in 2022? It is not. Zendikar seems strong. Landfarm Claire's decent. Alright, opponent takes expel. Oh, is this a white-black deck again? Well, Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of the Spellbinder. Go attacking. Kill the Shabligast. About it. No, Lurus is not either. Standard 2022 is the sets that'll... There's the Gaia. Are the sets that'll be around after rotation still. So, Zendikar through... Boy, I've played this deck so many times. So Zendikar through Forgotten Realms. Hey, what's up, Empagigs? It is not looking good for it's not looking good for Flumph. Maybe the idea of winning a single game with Flumph is just maybe it's not ever gonna happen. That might be it. We might be done. Flumph is not as helpful as its reputation in D&D would suggest. Do we need the colorless theme? I mean, not technically. I mean, I guess you can play White Weenie and play Flumph in it and just be playing Flumph because... I want a deck where Flumph actually matters. I guess that's what it comes down to. So we don't have to have the colorless theme, but I also don't want to just, like... I feel like Flumph actually is, like... But this is actually a deck that can take advantage of Flumph. Like, it needs a blocker. The card advantage is important in mono white. So I feel like this is kind of a Flumph deck. So I'm definitely fine with changing the deck or dropping the colorless theme or whatever. But I don't want to just, like, put Flumph in mono white aggro and be like, haha, hopefully we don't draw it and we got him. We won with Flumph by mulling it to the... Like how Tomer builds his commander decks. Where he's like, oh, I'm Moonfolk, but I'm scrying all my Moonfolk to the bottom because they're really bad. We want to avoid that situation. Historic Walls, I actually don't think... Well, we have to look. Maybe Flumph would be one of the best walls to play in that deck. Azorius Mill, okay. The only problem is there's not a lot of good mill cards. I built that copy mill deck that we played for Budget Magic, and there's just like, it's basically two. There's Maddening Cacophony and Tasha's Hideous Laughter, and that is basically the extent of a playable and somewhat playable mill in Standard. Well, Fortel, go. Cosmos elixirs for days. Seth, I told my kids I can't put them to bed to you in the game. They said, please, Mr. Olive, win a game. We're so tired. Well, I'm sorry, kids. I'll try to win one for you. Oh, that's the last thing we wanted to see. Opponent hits us for infinite. We draw some treasure chests. We are at the board. Crawling Barrets. Do they have a big creature to turn on their chariot? A pack leader. Ranger class. Turns on chariot. Makes a token. Thoughts on Teferi's Tutelage? Teferi's Tutelage is a cool card. It's unfortunate that it's what, legal? It's legal in Historic still, right? It's not legal in Standard, but I like Tutelage style decks. It needs a deck that dumps your hand since it needs the most card draw, but those decks want aggressive cards. Flumph is bad because it's not a good aggro card, but it's built to support it. Yeah, I mean, if Flumph was like a elite spellbinder stats or something, that would actually be pretty interesting. Because then you could. The weird thing is, like, I think you actually nailed it. Like, Flumph has control deck body. Like, if Flumph wants a control deck, it's a wall. It plays defense. That's the kind of body it has. So it has a body that is fit for a control deck, but it has an ability that you really don't want in a control deck. Because in a control deck, you have card advantage. You don't want to be giving your aggro opponents card draw. That's absolutely horrible. You already have ways to draw cards. You want to be running your opponent out of cards as you're refilling your hand with all your other control card draw stuff. So if it had the ability on an aggro body, it would be good. Or if it, I don't know, didn't have the ability but was like a 1/8 Shroud or something that you could just play on defense, maybe that would be good. Buckarox, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. I mean, I guess a 1/8 would make it better to some extent. It would be even better on blocking. It would block everything then. Come on, we gotta get it. We gotta get the Flumph win. We got to. Opponent hits us. Well, at least they won't have anything good to steal because our deck is full of Flumps. About it. Thinking. Flumph with Narset. Yeah, that would potentially keep the opponent from drawing an extra card, which is nice. Nighthawk Scavenger. Well, play the land. More Skyclaving. Hit ya. Well, if we can get a good treasure chest roll, this might be the time. This might be the time. This might be it. This might be the Flumph win opponent. I don't even want to know what our record is. I'm sure there's a lot of zeros. A lot of zeros followed by a relatively big number. Opponent mills us. What do you got, opponent? Passes. Well, let's play Dungeon Map. Go attacking. Alright. So we get 1,000,000 for one. Yeah, I guess probably attacking might not have been the smartest idea. The rolling of one was pretty brutal. Alright, looking less likely that this is Flumph's time to shine. About it. Every time I play against an opponent with Parallax card styles, I can tell they have them before they even play because of how laggy it makes my computer. Whew. Flumph with Enrage and Smothering Tithe in Historic. Okay, I like that. So, try to ping the opponent to... So try to ping the opponent to make them draw cards and get treasures. That's why I was wondering if there was any way... Like, maybe... I think you can do, like, the Stuffy Doll style combo, where you take in like, make it indestructible, put a guilty conscience on it, hit it a whole bunch of times. Something like that could maybe be possible. About it. When is a Planeswalker Tribal poll coming back to ATO? I'm ready for the return of Donovan Vane. We'll have to do another one. The issue is we're running out of Planeswalkers that we haven't done. The rule had always been you got to have 3 versions that are not Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers. But you got to have three non-Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers. And we've played almost all the Planeswalkers that fit that criteria. So that's been the reason that Planeswalker Tribal slowed down a little bit. We always get more Planeswalkers though, so sooner or later, I think we'll probably get them. You really love Monk class, don't you, Corneus? How has Monk class been for you? Yeah, the mill deck looks fun. I mean, if you can cast enough Tasha's Hideous Laughters, we're gonna have to draw a lot of Tasha's Hideous Laughters. You probably need to draw about 4 of the mill spells, I think. But if you do, it's actually pretty good. All right, Flumph, Dowd. Yeah, I guess it's also not really counted supplemental sets, because there's like Planeswalkers and Commander decks. So it's mostly focused on like actual sets, but that's true. You could go to Legacy and do Kaya. It draws so many cards. Has it actually been good for you? That's one of the classes I haven't really played much. Well, that's some ramp at least. Is this the same deck that we just played where our opponent's just going to try to loop the Bounce Giant, apparently? About it. I feel like we did we do Kaya Tribal? I feel like there's very few. We did a Kaya Surgical Extraction deck. I don't know if we did Kaya Tribal. Well, all right. We got a plan. Venture. Into the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. 24 mana to complete it. Potent. Prosperous Innkeeper. I think the problem is we just have too many adventures in the Forgotten Realms cards. We're playing all the adventures in the Forgotten Realms cards. Venture. Alright, treasure chest, pass the turn. About it. Untaps. Do you know Narset Tribal? I think Narset might be one of the ones that we haven't done. Prosperous Innkeeper. I think there's maybe 3. I'll have to double check. Maybe there's a new one that's been added since then. We have Kaya Dovin, Vivian, Narset, and Karn. So does Kaya count? I'm not sure. Wow, they just ramped into Mordenkainen. Oh my god. Alright. Sure. About it. Are there enough Kaya? How many Kayas are there outside of Legacy? Bane of the Dead. Oh, I guess there's 3. Yeah, there are 3 without the Legacy ones, right? With the uncommon one. Well, I guess Flumph does some blocking. We need more Huatlis. Hopefully we get more Huatlis at some point. Huatli is a sweet planeswalker. Opponent, growing the dog. Extra turn and dead. Oh, all right. I didn't think this deck would be that unable to win. Maybe we are never gonna win with this deck. What happened to instant deck tags? Mostly we're just doing more other stuff now. I felt like deck techs were losing some of their value because there's so much more Magic played now than before. So by the time we got to my wife said if I don't put the kids to bed, she'll find a man that will. All right, Jonathan Snow, for you, Flumph is gonna come through. I got a feeling, Flumph is listening. Flumph does not want to ruin your marriage. Did you try the new mono white planeswalker with Flumph? No, I've mostly just been playing this deck against Orzhov every other round. I feel like Standard 2022 has narrowed a bit recently. About it. Druid class. Alright. Well, foretell. Go. About it. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, and then we're gonna look at the rec. Okay, so opponent's playing the deck we were playing earlier, I think. So this means another extra turn deck. Play as a land, gain some life. Crawling Barrens. Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of the Druid class. Pass the turn. Teo Tribe would be interesting. You want to believe? I want to believe too. I want to believe, but they keep betraying us, which is definitely making it harder. Opponent gonna draw cards and ramp. We just need one good game with them. One good game where it all comes together. Professor of Symbology. Environmental Sciences. Cast it. Snow-covered plains. Hit ya. Opponent is below 20 life. Below 20, this could be the one. This could be the one. How many treasure, have your treasures got more ones rolled? Yeah, I think we're like 50% to roll a one, roughly. At least it feels like it. We rolled a one, and it killed us. We were at 3 life, and we needed to roll something good in. Nope. Of course not. Well, that can many things. Go attacking. Opponent down to 16, but they're also to the part of the game where they get to start doing big crazy things and winning. Down to 16. That's below 20. 17. Opponent. None of this life gaining. Eureka moment to draw cards. And you happen on a glade to draw cards. Well, go to combat. Hit ya. Dungeon map. Snow-covered plains. Professor. Deck of many things. Get back environmental sciences. Go. Oh, but we played this deck. We played this exact deck to start the stream, so we know that this is where things go poorly. This is where our opponent does really big things, takes a bunch of extra turns, tutors from their sideboard. Our life quickly flashes before our eyes. About it. Thinking about playing their land. I mean, 15. Alright, opponent has a Wrath. Now, environmental sciences. Get a land. Play it. Treasure chest. Go. You want the trick to winning with the Flumph deck is not playing Flumph. By the way, Seth, I've been running my Artisan Decks attempts, and so far, Druid Sisters has been the best in Standard 2022. Ooh. Alright, opponent draws a bunch of cards. Wow, a ridiculous number of cards. Yeah, that's something we can't really deal with. Is there any matchup in the meta where this Flumph deck could actually win? Hey, what's up, Les Phil James? We are playing some Flumph, for better or worse. I did realize that Artisan Presence the Gone combo is possible in Historic. Any thoughts on must-have cards for that? Ooh. So, Artisan as well. Only commons and uncommons? Hell, that's a Flumph. I mean... whatever. Treasure chest. I think we're just pretty dead here. Land. Cosmos Elixir. Draw a card. Opponent untaps. Yeah, so Artisan, I'd have to look. That's kind of a unique card pool. Yeah, not really. Probably the Soul Sister type stuff to gain life. The Life Gain combo pieces. I don't know if anything really stands out as being super essential. About it. Land. Kill us. Path of the World Tree. Gets a land. Alright, Elrond's Epiphany. Boom. Yeah, got us. I mean, the deck has Flumph. That's a win condition. It's got Creature Lands. It's got 4 Mascot Exhibitions. So there are win conditions. This deck is bad and janky, grindy best, and does not play well with says Issy Concession Finger. Well, I mean, I think when your opponent has 14 cards in hand and is wow, would you really not? Do you really view that as an early concession? Interesting. I figure when the opponents got 14 cards and casting Elrond's Epiphanies with the deck, I think maybe I was a little biased in that one because we just played that deck. Like, we just played that deck earlier this stream, so we kind of know what happens when that deck has a bunch of cards and a bunch of mana. Well, deck of many things needs you to be empty-handed. So if you can get empty-handed and have your opponent not have any, and your opponent has a creature in the graveyard, then it could potentially, and then you can kill the creature. Then you can potentially get there. Oh, opponents. Skullport Merchant. You don't think any concession with this deck is too early? Ouch. Ouch. Oh, play the land. Play the Cosmos Elixir. We just gotta win one. We gotta win one to prove that it's possible. Gain a couple life. Opponent untaps. Many treasures. So I think that the win conditions are Creature Lands and Mascot Exhibition. I would consider those to be the most straightforward win cons. I don't play a land. Deck of many things. Pass the turn. I got a good feeling about this one. I got a good feeling. We'll see. We'll see. We're at 21. Our opponent's at 20, but that could change. I got a good feeling. This might be Flumph's time to shine. Oh no, are they going to start drawing cards? Deadly Dispute. Gonna draw cards. The problem with Best of One, you don't even have people get mana screwed to get a free win. Yeah, I guess that's true now that, since in Best of One, Arena just gives you a good hand. My mom called now. She's talking to my wife. She let me know she's disappointed in me as a son and a husband and a father. Kids are crying in the hallway waiting for sleep. Save us. I'm trying. I'm trying, Jonathan Snow. Well, Flumph is trying. It's really, I think it's really on Flumph, but Flumph is giving it its best. It really is. Play the land. Dungeon map. Deck of many things. Wow! Alright. We roll a 2. We were really bad at rolling high numbers. I don't know if y'all have noticed that, but we were just really bad at rolling high numbers tonight. Gain a couple life. Get a mascot exhibition. Bonus sacks a treasure. Tutors. Could use a wrath. Could use a non super close to discarding our hand number being rolled. That would be spectacular. About it. Gets her own mascot exhibition with her infinite treasures. Plays a faceless Haven. And I mean, if we draw a wrath here, I think we can win this game. Like, that's all we need is to draw a wrath. Opponent goes with a big attack. We will block. About it. Mascot exhibition. Faceless Haven. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I guess we got a mascot exhibition. Pass the turn, gain a couple life. It'd be nice if we had like one more life and we were able to draw cards here, but about it. I've been surprised that 1/4 of the I'm surprised that 1/4 for 3. Oh, 1/4 for 3 has been decent value. Yeah, I mean, I think that all the card drawing definitely helps it a lot. I'll kill the Faceless Haven. That was not the most aggressive attack. Opponent passes. We'll play the land. Deck of many things. Mascot exhibition, please. No. I'll play the prof. I mean, this is a win con, I think. Just being able to repeatedly loop mascot exhibition, that seems kind of like a win con to me. Pass the turn. No attacks, gain some life up to 20. Isn't that a win con? Opponent. Gonna start sacking treasures to draw cards. Getting desperate. They're feeling the Flumph clothing in. Is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one where it comes true? Opponent. Very desperate. Sacking tons of treasures. Oh no. Our opponent is afraid they're about to get flumped out. They're about to get flumped out. Opponent. We're up to 21. If we maintain our life total, we get to draw with Cosmos Elixir. We got another mascot exhibition. After we mascot exhibition, if we roll a low number, we're likely to get back another mascot exhibition. That's a lot of value. I think this is the one. The reward for everyone who stuck it out with Flumph until the end. This might be the one. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we will block and kill it. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? Opponent passing. There's the Flumph right on time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we will mascot exhibition. Deck of many things. Get back, Mascot Exhibition. I think that's a combo. I think that would be considered a combo. We gain life up to 23. It's a treasure chest. Opponent. Desperate. It's happening. It's happening. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Opponent. Oh, please don't Blood on the Snow us. Goldspan Dragon. Sure. That's a good card. Goes to combat. Gets a treasure. Well, we will block. Opponent passes. Now play the land. Get rid of Goldspan. Give him a treasure. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah, we don't want to discard our hand. That would be brutal. Deadly Dispute sacks to draw some cards. Gets a treasure. Alright, well, go to combat. Do some attacking. Opponent. Blocks. Drops to 16. Well, we will. Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of the Skullport Merchant. Oh, come on, Flumph. You gotta get this win. This is, if there was ever a chance, it's this. This is the one. Flumph. Go. Draw a card. Pass the turn. Opponent. Land. I twitch. Okay. Yeah. And opponent will mill out before us. Opponent's down to 16. And then the kids can go to bed. Flumph can be a hero. We can pretend like none of this ever happened. Another Goldspan Dragon. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks into Flumph. Alright. Well, let's do this now. Deck of many things. Because we don't really want to get back Flumph at the... No! No! Why does this keep happening? If there's a way we can low roll, we will low roll every time. Well, now I am much less confident about our ability to win this game, I will admit. Well, Forsaken Monument. Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of Immerstorm Predator. Opponent sacks it to draw a card. 20. Come on, deck. Sorta close. Dungeon map. Gain some life. Go attacking. Opponent blocks. Seth, this has to be the one my father called and said that if you lose this game, I have to give up the Snow family name. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'm trying. Opponent. We have a lot of mana now, which is nice. Opponent has a gold span, which is less nice. We have pretty good card draw. What a weird game. This is actually like a really interesting game. The deck does a lot of things, but winning is not one of them. Wow! Agadim's awakening them all back. Alright. Well. That's not good. Not good at all. No matter what we do. Oh, that low roll for a 0 to discard our hand got us again. Opponent passes. Dungeon map. Well. Play a dungeon map. Gain some life. Professor of Symbology. Get a... Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's go environmental sciences. Gain 4 life. This turns on our card draw with Cosmos Elixir. Get a land. Play it. Exile Goldspan. Opponent's exit to draw a card. Come on, deck of many things. Yeah, the deck is grinding. Even after discarding our hand. Well, okay, deck of many things. Draw a couple cards. Another Cosmos Elixir. Gain some life. Pass the turn. Flumph. And a land. Opponent. Untabs. Land. They definitely could have Orcas. Lolf. Alright.
You could have such
Spiders.
a gift in exchange for loyalty.
Goldspan Dragon number 4. I think. Bona goes attacking. I mean, we're not gonna win this, are we? Even after all this, we're still not gonna be able to win. If we board wipe, though, they get to keep Immerstrom Predator, and their Loth is gonna get huge now. Somehow we went through half of our deck without hitting a board wipe. Opponent gets to exile from our graveyard. Yeah, this is... Even this, it's not gonna happen. Infinite Treasures. Another mascot exhibition. Treasure chest. I'll play treasure chest. Gain some life. Activate treasure chest. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. There's nothing we can do. Like it doesn't matter. We really roll 1 every time. Like Environmental sciences. That's a... Yeah, that does it. Alright. Well, that is, I would say, disappointing. Very, very disappointing. I'm starting to think that this has got to be bugged. Like, it's got to be. It's got to be bugged, right? Well, maybe we're never going to win with this deck. I said I'd keep going, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen. I feel like looping Mascot Exhibition is a legitimate win con. The problem is we roll ones every time. I mean, it is what? It's 5% to roll one, and we're actually at 50%? Hey, see ya, Ruckus. Thanks for hanging out. See ya on Monday, where we'll probably play a deck that does not feature Flumph and has a chance of winning. Isn't the problem that you've got Flumph in your deck? Maybe it's Flumph. Maybe Flumph makes us roll ones. Oh, well, I'm glad you're good, Jonathan. Yeah, I don't think this is a matchup that we can reasonably win. Oh, Flumph is so horrible here. I don't think we can reasonably beat the ramp deck, honestly. We'll see. Yeah, I never know. Opponent plays a land, passes. Well, treasure chest. Gotta get those ones. Gotta get those ones. Go Gary, good stuff. Well, we're trying to win with Flumph, Bobo. Like, that's the whole gimmick. The whole idea is to win a game with Flumph, so... Opponent, Goldspan Dragon, of course. Goes to combat attacks. Opponent gets to draw a card. Oh, Flumph is just so... Flumph might be the worst card that Wizards has printed in many years. Like, I'm not even being, like, hyperbolic. I actually just think that it is one of the worst cards they've ever printed. Alright. Sure. Negate. I mean, I think the deck... I think y'all are... Alright, we're gonna scoop here. I don't know... I mean, the deck's obviously not winning a lot, but... I think saying it doesn't have any way to win is not correct. I think that 4 Mascot Exhibitions is a way to win, along with Creature Lands and a lot of mana. Ingenious Smith. Why is Flumph in the deck? Because this is a Flumph deck. Is there some way to there are some ways to evolve cards that are way worse. There are some evolve cards that are way worse. Are there? I mean, the thing is with Flumph is it gives your opponent cards. That's the problem. Giving up on the family. But I did grab some coffee at PJ. All right, good luck. Good luck, Jonathan. Our opponent. Scared of Flumph. Not okay. There they've returned to living. Shambling Ghast. Now land go. Yeah, maybe we gotta give our opponent the Flumph. Maybe that's the solution. I don't play the land. Professor Symbology. So I think the Mascot Exhibitions, I think they count as a legit win condition, but maybe they don't, along with 8 creature lands, but... Zephyr Spear. I mean, that's a long time ago, though, right? Yeah, Zephyr Spirit, that's a long time ago. But yeah, Zephyr Spirit is... Wait, Zephyr Spirit's a 1/1 flying for one. I know what card you're talking about, though. Opponent. Getting some mana fixing. Kasavelki whiffs. And goes attacking. Well, I mean, kill the Shambling Ghast. Doomscar. Go. Well, maybe. Maybe there's hope here. Oh, well, if maybe that's the best use of Flumph, giving Velki something to take. Maybe our opponent will accidentally turn into the Flumph, and then we'll win because they have the Flumph. Isn't Archon of Emeria good here? There isn't a problem with opponent drawing cards if they only cast one a turn. Yeah, I mean, Archon of Emeria is probably fine. But, oh, timeout? Timeout? Is that how Flumph wins? Or this is looking like a heart attack level deck. We need our opponent to have a heart attack. Hopefully they will be fine. But that is how Flumph could potentially win. About it. Oh, I thought they were gonna time out. Land. What do you got about it? Really? Flumph was good and limited? Interesting. I would not have guessed that. Mascot exhibition. Environmental sciences. About it. Hits us. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Ugh. Now let's foretell environmental sciences. Mascot exhibition is the main way that we win, or many creature lands. Teleportation is definitely a sweet card. I am hopeful that we will do some teleporting at some point. Opponent, Faceless Haven. Hits us for a bunch. Down to 10. Eye Twitch. Well, land. Doomscar. About it. This might be the worst thing we have. Oh my god, they have more mascot exhibitions. Oh, jeez. I wonder if this is just the new worst deck that we've ever played. About it. Gonna start casting mascot exhibitions, I presume. Opponent figured it out. See, mascot exhibition is a legit win card. Yeah, I mean, I think that is it again. I'll play a treasure map, or treasure chest, pass the turn. Opponent. Land. More Faceless Avids. Creature lands are also an issue. About it. Well, maybe we won't be able to play until we win a game with this. That's part of the reason why I'm scooping aggressively, is the idea was to play until we win a game. And if we're like 1%, I think it makes sense to go to the next game rather than playing out against a super slow opponent for a bunch more hours. Mascot exhibition. Yeah. Yeah, it is 100% Faceless Haven isn't. Not literally 100%, but it's got to be like 75% of decks. I think that'll change once we get actual mana bases. A big problem with Standard 2022 is there's just really, really bad mana. Phone it. More eye twitches. Shambling Ghast. The deck's trying to win with Flumph. It's trying to win a single game. One game. That's it. With 4 Flumps. And Flumph has lost as many games. Treasure Chest, rolling 1 50% of the time. Literally. Has lost as many games. But we have not been able to win many games. Block, block, block. I mean, opponent's literally out of cards. Well, Amiria's call. Pass the turn. They're out of cards. They're out of cards. We're at 8. That's not a lot. Oh, no! Why? Why? Oh, no! Oh. This deck is cursed. Flumph is cursed. Everything about this is just straight up cursed. Yeah, and now our opponent gets to take up Liliana. They get to draw. That's just game. That is just game. Wow, we would have actually had a shot too. Like if our opponent, they've drawn 6 lands out of 17 cards. If they just drawn a land for a couple of turns, oh, we would have had it. That would have been the one. That would have been the one.
Never thought I'd miss them.
Opponent hunts for specimens. We'll give it a couple more times, and then maybe we are going to have to go to Sparky. Like, I don't even know. I mean, I'm probably going to scoop fairly aggressively if it looks like we're not going to win. Because remember, the goal is to win a game with this deck. Not to bash our head into the wall for a half hour when we have very minimal chance to win. Can we go over the deck, please? I mean, it's a pile of cards with fluff in it, basically. Ugin's not legal in Standard 2022. It's a very janky deck. It's mono-white control built around trying to generate card advantage by winning die rolls, which we're very bad at, and trying to win with Flumph. About it. Plays a land. I mean, there's got to be a game where we play against an aggro deck, and they just dump their hand and we cast a Wrath, and then we win. Like, that's the thing that happens. But whenever we run into the matchups where that can happen... Alright, Flumph's time to shine. Whenever we run into a matchup where that can happen, we, like, lose our treasure chest die roll and just lose. Yeah, it's Standard 2022. Die roll control, basically. Yes. Well, treasure chest. If we get another one on this treasure chest, I might just quit Magic forever. That might be it. Forever. Done. About it. Plays a lad. And... yeah, I don't think they know that Flumph draws them cards, and attacking into it actually greatly benefits them. Monk of the open hand. Alright, come on, no one. No one, no one. Preferably drawing cards, but definitely no ones. We might actually not block with Flumph. I think that's a problem. Flumph is like a mascot. You play it, but you definitely don't want to... you don't want to block with it and give your aggro opponent cards. So I honestly am not sure... yeah, no blocks. Alright. Yeah, I mean, you can't actually block with it. About it. Cracks it. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we're actually... Boy. That's a pretty good sign that Flumph is bad. When you're better off not blocking with your 0-4 that is only good at blocking. Yeah, but they draw cards. I think our chance of winning is them not having cards. Yeah. Well, looks like they got it. But that's the problem with... If Flumph just drew us cards, it would actually be a pretty good card. But because Flumph draws our opponent cards... Many useless treasures. Alright, pass the turn. About it. Yeah, that is the perfect example of just how... Alright, opponent's got it. We're dead. That's a perfect example of how bad that card is. Like, it is... It's just so incredible. We gotta win one. We gotta win. We'll give it a couple more shots, and then we'll try it against Sparky, because... there is a limit to the insanity. I am literally shocked that we've been doing this for like 2 hours and have not won a game. Like, my mind is blown. Why is the deck not running Pupper and Skyclave? We have Skyclave Apparition. But we're in Standard 2022, so it's only cards that'll be legal after rotation. No, Flumph cannot win a single game. We're trying. That's the whole goal, is to win a single game with Flumph. And we have lost a lot of games. I mean, we have played like the same deck every time, but well, that's an exaggeration. But we've played the same decks many times in a row. Well, Professor of Symbology. Environmental Sciences. Go. About it. The dice roll cards are really bad. About it. Passes. Well, Crawling Barrens. Go. About it. Taps. Land. Clarion Spirit. And a 1-drop. Well, the question's gonna be, do we draw a Wrath ever? Opponent grows the dork, goes attacking, we kill it. If we draw a Wrath, there's hope. Well, Cosmos Elixir. No attacks. Oh, you gotta be above? Yeah, alright. About it. This deck would lose against any meme or dream deck. Really? Think it's that bad? Opponent goes attacking. No blocks. We draw Flumph that we really can't afford to play because it's so bad. Land. Play it. Well, I mean... If we draw Wrath, we got a shot. We probably won't because we're not good at it for some reason, but opponent plays a lead. More Clarion Spirits. And a Redane. Well, I mean, oh, now we can't even play the Wrath. Well, that was a good one for our opponent to hit. About it. Goes attacking. Well, kill the monk. Oh, it doesn't even work. I guess that's a punt. Oh, this is never gonna... it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's impossible. We've found the worst deck in the history of Magic. If we cut the colorless cards, then maybe we win some games. They cost infinite and are really bad. So you think I mean, I don't think the colorless cards are that good, but I think that they are way better than Flumph. I think that Flumph is the worst card in the deck by about a million miles. Because we got to win a game with it. 2 hours ago, we said we'd play it until we won a game, and I thought it would take about 15 minutes, and that was 2 hours ago. So that is why we were still playing it, is because we need to win a single game. We need to win a single game with this deck. I think Flumph is horrible in control decks, actually, because in control decks you don't want to draw your opponent cards. So I think that Flumph is pretty bad in control as well, unfortunately. Well, we're at the board. Play the land. About it. What do you got? More Nighthawk Scavengers. I'll play a land and Forsaken Monument. About it. Well, hopefully we have some Wrath and removal. Come on. We gotta, I'm a man of my word. If we say we're gonna do something, we're gonna do something. Opponent gets our Cosmos Elixir. Plays an Eye Twitch. Well, play deck of many things. Crawling Barrens. Pass the turn. Oh, come on, die rolls. We're fine with getting back a Doomscar. Getting back a Doomscar is actually excellent here. So anything except the discard our hand mode is pretty good. Opponent hits us to 14. I'm feeling like there's a chance. Our opponent's missing... I'm surprised we haven't had any opponents who miss their land drops. Alright, we get back Cosmos Elixir. Well, play Cosmos Elixir. Gain some life. Play a land. Treasure chest. Gain some life. There's hope. There's hope. There's hope. This got better since I started drinking. Flumph drives people. If Flumph so far has driven people to drink, it has ruined a marriage. Flumph is just not a good jellyfish or whatever it is. It's done all kinds of horrible things to stream members. The book combo is banned in Standard 2022, so we can't actually play it. 7. Get a Doomscar, which is fine. Hall of Oracles. Doomscar. We're at the board. Okay. Okay, I actually kind of like where we're at now. Treasure chest. If this is a 1, I swear. I swear. Opponent has a... Jeez, an even death that never ends. 16, we draw some cards. I'll play a Flumph. Pass the turn. Opponent. Combat. Well, I don't like giving our opponent a card, but I think it's worth it here. We block. Because this is going to turn on double Cosmos Elixir. Alright, Flumph. Alright, Flumph. Give us something good. Alright, a land. Swamp for our opponent. Turgid. I'll play the land. That can many things. No! Unbelievably horrible luck. At some point, like, at what point can we say that this is a bug? With a Turgid out, so our opponent steals all of our stuff. No, we want to get back the Doomscar. Because we want to get the Doomscar. So it increases our odds of getting a Doomscar. It's... This is blowing my mind. I knew I was bad at flipping coins. But I didn't realize that I was bad at rolling dice too. Like, this is... Alright, we're going to pretend like this match never happened. Wow. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think we're just done with Flumph. I think at some point we just got to give up. Adjust the record. All right, I got it. There we go. The record is achieved. Opponent, White Weenie on the play. Opponent, Clarion Spirit hits us. I honestly didn't know it was possible for a deck to be this bad. I really didn't. Oh, well, I'm sure you will, Jonathan, now that you've been kicked out of your home and your marriage, so my apologies. Yeah, I mean, we've played against Orzhov and White Weenie a huge percentage of the time, and then Ramp a little bit as well. Man, Flumph is so bad. Like, not being able to cast it, like, that's just that, yeah, sure. We lost a die roll, we're dead. All right, we'll do 2 more games, and then we'll try against Sparky, and if we don't beat Sparky, then, I don't know. We can't block with Flumph because Flumph draws our opponent a card. And if we draw our aggro opponent a cards, we have 0 chance of winning. Like if you were here for the first hour of us trying to win with this deck, we always blocked with Flumph, and every time we just lost because our opponent assembles a party. Our opponent draws 4 Goldspan Dragons because Flumph is just feeding them cards. So, Flumph is like, that's what makes Flumph so incredibly bad. Like, Flumph, we can't block. What does it do? It can't block. Oh, no. Okay, two Flumphs. All right, we got to block this time because we got nothing else. All right, this one and one more. If it doesn't work out, then we'll do it for a party. We're talking about good old Flumph here, who is apparently a friendly chap in D&D, but in Magic is brutal. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. We could stream Flumph until we literally all grow old, and it would not do it. Alright, I think you go, Flumph. So we're going to need to draw Wrath. In this match, we might block. Our opponent's playing White Weenie. In this match, it might be worth blocking because we have these Cosmos Elixirs. So maybe we block and try to... I don't know. Block and try to find a sweeper? Monk of the Open Hand. Paladin class. Well, land and treasure chest. Yeah. Opponent. Do a legit prediction for beating Sparky. You don't think we can beat Sparky? I think that actually is our record, honestly. I know it looks like a joke, but I feel like that's actually... You know what? I can tell you. I can tell you the real record because I have untapped.gg. I don't want to look. I really don't. All right, where's this deck? All right, give me your prediction. Give me your prediction. What is our actual record with this deck? Do you have a guess? Y'all are in a pretty good spot. You're all in a pretty good spot. No, there's no wins. I'll tell you that. We know that going into it. All right, you want to see the dramatic reveal? All right, here we go. Flumph. Click it. Boom. We are 0 for 25. 2 hours and we've been doing it for 2 hours and 7 minutes. You deserve a prize, Tyler the Pyro. 2 hours. Wow, they killed the Flumph. 2 hours and 7 minutes we've been going with this. Well, play a Flumph past the turn. That's never happened before. That is the worst record I have ever seen with the deck. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I'm not even exaggerating. I think it literally is the worst. All right. If we draw a Doomscar off the top, we could potentially win this game, except there's a Faceless Haven. The biggest thing we need from Innistrad is a way to deal with lands. Like, we really need Ghost Quarters and Field of Ruins, or else we're going to be in a standard that is just absolutely dominated by creature lands, and I don't think it's going to be a format that is very good. I mean, this one's just... We're dead. All right. Well, one more until Sparky. One more. Yeah, this will probably get published. Knowing Wizards and their publishing ability, you'll open up Magic.gg a week from now. Hey, what's up, Time and Space? How are you? You'll open up Magic.gg a week from now, and you'll see Flumph 6-0. Once that happens, we'll know. We'll know that something is up. Worst deck in standard history. Now this looks like a functional hand. Would have been nice if we were on the play, but all right. I blame you, Jonathan Snow. Opponent, Mono Green Stompy, thinking hard about their first play. Slowly passing. Alright, land go. I wonder if Wizards will ever format cards in a way that makes them so people cannot be slow with them on Arena. Like, Lair the Hydra is just gonna, like, make our opponent play slow this entire game, which is kind of annoying. Well, Doomscar foretold. Go. Do people never run bad in Best of One Standard? Do you just, I'm amazed that we've done this for 2 hours and we have not seen anyone get mana screwed or mulligan. Apparently the Best of One hand algorithm just makes it so, so things are always good. Well, treasure chest. Go. Yeah, there's Skyclave in there. About it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I hadn't realized that I never got a bad hand. I thought it was like, oh, they give you 1 out of 3 hands or whatever, and, you know, it'll be fine. But we haven't seen this. I don't think we've seen a single opponent mold a 6. So I think everyone just gets their nut draw, apparently. Well, I guess we wrath. Pass the turn. About it. Please not a Zika's Chariot. I mean, I think you just gotta think of Best of One as its own thing. Is it the same as Paper Magic? No. Is it the same as other formats? No. But I think when Best of One first came out, I probably said it's not real Magic. But at this point, I think that's not quite the correct way to look at it. It is not traditional Magic, and it is not my preferred form of Magic. But I think saying, well, yeah, Froghemoth, that's a lot of damage. Opponent gets to draw cards. They have creature lands. Of course, you can't answer creature lands because we're in Standard 2022. All right, I'll give it one more. I'll give it one more, and then it's one with Sparky, and then we're calling it. but I think of it as its own thing. Like Kamigawa block tiny leaders. Best of one, it's its own thing. It's not the format that I personally find most enjoyable, but there's a lot of different formats, and some of them I like more than others. So, and if Kamigawa block tiny leaders or best of one is your jam, then that is awesome. And if it's not my jam, that's also awesome. So that's how I look at it now. So I don't really like calling it not real Magic anymore, although I do agree with like the spirit of that comment. It's not traditional Magic. Things are different. It's got a bunch of weird stuff going on that makes it different than what we would consider traditional Magic. But it is its own thing, and it is a legit thing. And if you like it, that's an awesome thing. And I've enjoyed Standard 2022, even though I really would prefer if they added a best of 3 queue. But well, all right, we can do this the hard way. Professor of Symbology, Environmental Science, go. We have a new donation, Jonathan Snow, $5 donation. I'm so sorry, Seth. Well, Jonathan, I appreciate the apology. It is definitely unnecessary, but thank you. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate the donation. Now, snow-covered plains. Professor of Symbology. Get a mascot exhibition. Go attacking. Well, if these Cosmos Elixirs can stick and start drawing us cards, who knows? Who knows about it? Is this deck like Maverick, where he loses for the first 2 hours at the card table? Basically. But it's not a long con. We're not gonna suddenly take everyone's money. Professor makes the deck look functional. Looks can be deceiving, as we have seen. Fast summonings. Opponent making some fast. It's us. Well, Cosmos Elixir. No attacks. With cards more easily added to Arena, do you think it would be possible to run a small Modern tournament by having players submit deck lists that are added to the client instead of whole sets? Yeah, I mean, if you could get Wizards to do it. Secret Rendezvous next stream? No blocks. We'll just take it. So yeah, Secret Rendezvous. I mean, it would be good if next stream we played a deck that won once in a while. I mean, we're not big on having to win here, but we also don't want to just go over every time. About it. So I assume they have Plum to combo off, draw a ton of cards. All right, hunt for specimens. Mascot exhibition. Well, play the land. Doomscar. Well, we'll see. Opponent gains a bunch of life. We swept the board. We go up to 19. What does our opponent have? We need 2 more lands for the mascot exhibition. Opponent has a land. Oh no, they have... What? Restorative Burst? Well, draw some cards. Look for more Wraths. What was that card that they played? Wow, Pest Cauldron Restorative Burst. Alright. Why play Cosmos Elixir when you can play Secret Rendezvous, go full on everyone draws mode? Maybe we should. I guess it would be in the spirit of the Flumph to give our opponent more cards for free. Come to think of it, what would Flumph do? That is the real question. Monument. Elixir 3. I mean, if this isn't enough for us to win a game, then this deck it can't do it. It can't do it. We're gaining 6? Or we're drawing 3 extra cards each turn from these elixirs, and we're gaining tons of life with Forsaken Monuments. Unfortunately, we're not drawing anything relevant. Opponent untaps. Hunt for specimens. We need to find another Wrath for sure. And we need this treasure chest not to get us, which it has been doing all night. Mortality Spear, Unforsaken Monument. Drains us a bit. Well, come on, Wrath. Opponent goes attacking. Hits us to 18. Well, play the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Forsaken Monument. Play Dungeon Map. Gain some life. Get rid of Witherbloom Apprentice. Opponent sacks it. Sure. Draw some cards. Can we find a Wrath? We're drawing so many cards. Flumph. Flumph. Oh, well, there's the Flumps. No, still haven't won with Flumph. Not happening. Been working all day, then I get to the house ready for a showing tomorrow. Selling house sucks, so I bet. I'm currently hidden away in the bathroom doing a quick break. Don't tell my family. Oh, well, debate, bro. Good luck with the house selling. Well, we will mascot exhibition, gain a bit of life. We will treasure chest. Gain a bit of life. We will Cosmos Elixir. Flumph to save us. Good luck with the house selling. All right, draw 4. Can we find a Wrath? No. More Flumps. More Flumps. We draw all the Flumps. We need a Wrath, and we draw every Flump. Every Flump. Deadly Brew. Well, we'll sack the Flump, doing its job. Opponent gets back Witherbloom Apprentice. I can't believe we haven't hit a Wrath. I'm assuming our opponent's trying to set up for like a sacrifice combo kill, but we'll see. No, block you, block you, block you. Oh, they got it. Yeah. Oh, Village Rites. That's better than Plumb the Forbidden. Sacrifices, drains. This is the most fun I've had in a long time. Thank you. I needed a good laugh. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jonathan. An Immortality Sphere. We don't draw Wrath, of course. I don't know why we thought we were going to draw Wrath. Silly us, thinking we might draw a real card. Can we get that one? 20. No, alright. That is a way to get a Wrath. Cast Doomscar. Opponent's gonna gain a bit of life, but the board is clean. Land. Flumph. Gain back that life with elixirs. Okay. Okay. We found our sweeper. We found our sweeper. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Maybe. Another Witherbloom Apprentice. Nadina. Past summonings. Drains us. Opponent's getting low on cards. They're getting low on cards. Skyclave. Get rid of Witherbloom Apprentice. Amiria's Call. Gain some life, draw some cards. Pass the turn. Opponent's at 41 though. That's a lot of damage to deal. Opponent. Hunt for specimens. What do they get from their side? You're just trying to win. Containment Breach. Okay, can get rid of the Cosmos Elixir, I guess? Sure. Kills an Elixir. Is this happening? Is this the one? Is this the Flumph we've been waiting for? Opponent grows Dina. Passes. Well, Skyclave. Get rid of that Dina. Out of here. Out of here. Oh! We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it! We didn't even have to Sparky. We're ranking up. It took us. Oh my goodness, look at these stats. It took us. It took us. Oh, it hasn't updated for the win yet. It hasn't updated for the win yet. There is a, come on, untap.gg. Show us these updated stats. To win a single game with Flumph. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Well, there it is. 2 hours, 25 minutes. 0% on the draw. 6% on the play. 1 in 27. A 4% win rate, which I didn't know was possible. We 0 for 7 against Mono White. 0 for 4 against Orzhov. 0 for everything against everything else. Finally, Flumph came through against Green Black Pests and Flumph, best card in Standard. So what do we learn about the deck tonight? Flumph's amazing. Didn't you see that game? We just absolutely crushed Green Black Pez with the power of Flumph. Get your Flumphs now before they're gone. We broke it. Best deck in Standard. Best card in Standard. Oh my god. Well, I don't know what to say about this tag. I think I'm going to block it out of my mind. On that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our super long stream for tonight. We got there. Hopefully had fun watching some of the losses along the way. What was the goal of the deck? To just win. I mean, initially it was, we can do this like lucky mono white control where we win die rolls and Flumph blocks for us and draws us cards. But it turned out that we lost die rolls and Flumph drew our opponent cards and we lost 27 times in a row until we finally win. I have no idea why Flumph's so rare. It should be a common. Mega rare. Too good for its rarity. On that note, everyone, Jonathan, I got there for you. Go back to your family. Put your kids to bed. Tell them I'm sorry we didn't get there earlier. On that note, everyone, reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube. That's where you'd find the old streams. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff coming out there. One more reminder that our sponsor is Card Kingdom. If you need some Flumphs, which I don't know why you would. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't after watching that last game. You can get them over at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Let them know you want one. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. We lost a lot tonight. There was a lot of losing going on, but y'all are amazing. Thanks for sticking around through the losses, the long and grindy Flumpy stream. So we'll be back on Monday to have some more fun stuff on the YouTube in the meantime. So seriously, everyone, y'all are amazing and awesome, and I appreciate y'all so much. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. I love y'all. See you on Monday, and I will talk to you soon.